And we're live. This is going to be a tentative stream that might or may not go up on YouTube, depending on if anyone joins. I am going to send it out on Blue Sky for once, because I am playing Off the Devil, and I would like to have people to come watch, which no one has confirmed or denied that they will. So at the current moment, I don't know if I will have a single viewer for my Off the Devil shenanigans. So we gotta figure that out before we start. And if the answer is no one is coming to join, then I will simply stream this at another time instead of right before Christmas. But that is where we are at right now. Off the Devil, episode 2. I'm hella excited. In the gambling fun. Twitch.tv/pipsqueak_TV. There we go. Do I have on... Actually, let me see. Is there a new... If I start it, is there a new splash screen? Should be this game. Off the Devil, bam. Oh yeah, no, I should definitely redo this. I need to create a new scene for this. Funnily enough, I've named the scene Off the Devil, but it unfortunately has been edited so much it's not useful for Off the Devil anymore. That works. Wait, what? Oh, oh my god, it duplicates the scene as well. Whatever. We put in Off the Devil then. Please tell me it doesn't reference the thing. Oh no, this is window capture. We just kill that. We just kill window capture and do game capture instead. Capture specific window and Off the Devil. That should work. And so it does. I think this... Does this look snazzier? I think this looks snazzier. Let me see. Can I disable flux for an hour? Would like to be able to click outside the screen. Full screen window, yes. We live in the future where you can do that. Do I still have my save file? Concept gallery. The issue is that isn't as cool as the splash screen. The splash screen is too good on its own. I do like that though. Oh right, I forgot so much about what happened in the previous episode. Wait, if I go to bonuses and then go back up and take a screenshot before the menu stuff comes on. I can't time it. That's fine. There we go. With that said, let's do what I do every stream, which is do Game Doll in the meanwhile. Let's see, game. I need to grab some water as well. Wow, it's not fully the right resolution. I wonder why. It's weird. You'll be here 30 minutes max. Are you gonna play it yourself? I understand wanting to avoid spoilers. It's very fair. Having a job has kept me from playing as much as I want. That makes sense. I actually did 1 hour of overtime, kind of by accident today. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but I've been really excited to play. So I want to hopefully get in here with people to watch. You know, if it's just us two, you know, maybe I'll save this for a different day. It's just that I think a lot of people are busy during the holiday season, during the day before Christmas, you know. Especially, I don't think a lot of people know what Off the Devil is, so they're not as hype as I am, sadly. But I do want to get the game in, because the game is really cool. It's so sad. Yup. I see your comment here. Please delay 1 day. Everyone needs to know. Let's see, what's the player base at? Steam DB. I hate that it comes up as like a separate chart. Or does it? Does it pop up if you just do Off the Devil? I guess so. Yeah. I mean, 600 people. Yeah, that's a lot less than I would hope. Let's do Danganronpa. Danganronpa 3, which is one of the worst ones. To be fair, I mean, obviously Danganronpa is a console game as well, but to be fair, not as big of a difference as I expected. Jesus, the owner estimation. Just playing Danganronpa. Well, I'm doing the all-time peak. I'm counting Danganronpa all-time peak, not... I'm expecting the first game to have a lot more. Yep. How is there 1,700 doing... It just went on sale for like $1 or something? Okay, that could explain where there's 1,700 playing it. But yeah, I really want to play. I'm like really excited, but I also don't want to play before people would join in and have a good time, right? It would be a lot more fun to play with people in here than to do it, you know, all by my lonesome, so to speak. So I thought I'd announce it on Blue Sky, and if people join, then, you know, we keep going. And if people are gonna mostly leave, then maybe I save it for probably after New Year. So it makes the most sense. Either that or on the 26th. 26th? Can't make that noise. Anyway, let's figure out what this is all about. Dynasty Warriors, maybe? My W key has stopped working, which is insanely frustrating. I don't know what this would be. Is this like... Wait, is this Blood Bowl? Yo! I love Blood Bowl. It's crazy I didn't even clock that this was a big ass orc. I just thought it was a larger man. That's... I was gonna say Link, but it's... There's a skirt. This is an elf of some kind. Ys, because there's a billion Ys games. Is it the Ys series? No. Oh, heck. Soup. Hello, Above Average Gaming. What is this? I feel like I maybe should know this. Is this like Tactics Ogre? Huh? What is this? This is not Hyrule Warriors. None of the characters are Zelda characters. However, this... I mean, it's not Dissidia. It doesn't feature the... wait, how do you spell that? Oh no, I'm talking not Dissidia. I'm talking Disgaea. It's not Disgaea, is it? I have no idea what this is. This might be the worst I've ever done on one of these quizzes. What is this? Can I get some Japanese text in here and then I can figure it out? Is this really a Dungeons and Dragons? Chronicles of Mystara. It's not online. I mean... Yo, I'm so fucking skilled. That's called being... That's called being good at the game. The streak of 0 remains. Never mind, I've messed up. A Merry Christmas to all. Yeah, Merry Christmas. And I guess Happy New Year as well, but hopefully I'll stream some before then. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Felt really weird to say Merry Christmas at work when I'm gonna be working tomorrow during the night. But you know, I did. It was also... What's it called? I said Merry Christmas to someone else who's also not celebrating Christmas, and I know they're not celebrating Christmas, so it becomes like extra awkward when we're like, Merry Christmas, yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, and we're both sitting there like, we're not, there's nothing merry about this in the slightest. This is the least merry experience. However, we do get paid more, so that's, you know, a big plus. What is this? This feels like a Pixar character. Is this like It Takes Two? No, it's not It Takes Two. I don't know. I've never seen... I might have seen this sometime. Who the fuck are you? Kena Bridge of the Spirits. I've maybe seen this. I think I've seen this. This game sucks. I mean, it's 70% off. I thought they said this was one of the award winners. Oh no, I have seen this. I just wasn't interested in it. I've definitely seen the trailers for it. It was just not very memorable to me. But it's bad. Oh no. Doesn't look like my type of game. This is one of those where it's like, I think this would be really good for someone who's not really like a gamer, quote unquote. Maybe we should drop the difficulty by exactly 1 step. Yup. Okay. Goblin Invisibility Skill Tree Dark Fantasy. Goblin. Invisibility Skill Tree. This is a really weird. Let me go with Lord of the Rings Gollum. Dang, I thought Goblin was maybe a creative interpretation. RPG elements, voice acting, clonability. But this game sounds interesting. I mean, it's definitely... It doesn't have Goblin in the name. Clonability, RPG elements. Invisibility. This is an insanely interesting combination. It's not like a thief game, is it? You don't play a goblin in that. I was thinking maybe there's like a spin-off where you do. Stealth, focus, backstab kills, climbing walls, alchemy potions. Oh, it's this game? Yeah, we're not all as knowledgeable as you. But I'm happy to know that this is enough to get it. Riddick. Vertical levels, medieval setting, distraction tools, sneaking mechanics. I don't think I've ever seen that. Anti-hero character, environmental traps, fragile protect. Mission-based levels. Interesting. This is Scrabble. No, Scribblenauts. This is Scribblenauts. Fuck. Protagonist name in the title. God damn it. I love that trial and error is a tag. That just feels like an indictment to the quality of the game. Yeah, it's trial and error. You can't figure it out. No strategy. Games with gold. Cover. Yeah, but the cover doesn't tell me anything. Right? This isn't Peglin, is it? Like, it's definitely not Peglin. Huh? $800 views? No, I have seen this game. I've seen a Let's Play of this game. Oh my god, how could I forget? It's so memorable. There's a goblin. Maybe 2 goblins even. It's one of those stealth-only games. 90% off. Really, the percent off tells me how good or bad the game is. This is like... The recent very positives is exactly the same as the other game we just looked at. The Kira... Or Kiala or whatever, the other one. They're the exact same percent positive. But this game has a lot more working against it. That's one thing you gotta think about when you look at reviews, is... like, for something like Kena, the Bridge of Spirits... The aesthetic kind of like sells to a large audience by default, and the concept, just from like the trailers, has like a really wide reach, which tends to mean that a lot of people are gonna rate it positively. So if it still doesn't reach like overwhelmingly, that's maybe a mark slightly more against it. Whereas like this is a more niche title, and it also has like really dedicated fans that want a lot from it. So... And again, it's not gonna draw the same crowd just from the visuals and the vibe and everything. So then I tend to rate the scores higher if they're good, because they have more of a barrier to work against in order to get a good review. 99% of negative reviews come from people who don't know marketing Assassin's Creed as a stealth game is customer deception. The 1% come from people who are just plain simple on the not cute side of the spectrum. Wow. It's the perfect stealth game. I love this, by the way. 10 out of 10, and I will definitely play repeatedly just for the fun of it. 27.4 hours on record. 26.8 hours at review time. Can I just reply to him and say he didn't play it, like, multiple times, so he's a liar? Was my last Sovereign review today, since I finished my second playthrough last week. Nice. Yeah, we finished chapter 4 finally. Oh, nice. I've been stalling because I've got food coming, because I took an hour overtime and told work that you better fucking pay for my food on Christmas. So I got sushi. I'm going to bring that up, and then we start off the devil. There's enough people here to warrant playing the game. So in like 5 minutes, I'll start the stream. BRB, 1 second. Start the game, not the stream. And I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. Let's do Off the Devil. I'm actually really excited. It's been a long time, but I really enjoyed episode 1. I don't remember just how much narrating there is in this game, but I have a feeling there's a lot. Let's see. Is there like a catch-up thing? You have to do new case to get to episode 2? Ah, thank you for telling me that. I was gonna do continue. Wait, why? What happens if you do continue? Wait, really? Wait. I want to do high roller mode. I want to keep my stuff. Wait, why am I... This isn't even like... The ship save between episodes? You start each episode with 0? Oh, okay. I see. Your global save is kept intact. Makes sense. Then I guess we just keep going. We get into it. Well, we have to do... We just have to do high roller mode, right? Random thought I had while vibing at work that I'm likely gonna end up self-censoring a comment for a Last Sovereign VOD like a month from now, despite said comment being my quoted blind thoughts would be considered spoilers even if the quote was my blind thoughts at the time. A weird catch-22 on meta-knowledge to some extent. It feels like you can't participate in the same way without assuming meta-knowledge since I have it. Was an odd thought. No, that makes perfect sense. It's something I have to deal with live much more than in the comments. In the comments, it's sort of like... I can get the vibe, but when it's live, there's some people that are just always, they have an asterisk over them, where I just have to say, no, you have pre-information, you can't partake in any speculation, because if you partake in speculation, I won't read it the same way I would anyone else's. Like if Genmila says like, I wonder what this is, or like, that's kind of weird, it's like I'm instantly tuned in on what is weird and like what they're talking about because they have the foreknowledge. And sometimes people will do that where they'll pretend to not know something in order to like get your thoughts to that direction, and it's really annoying. So you do have to kind of keep track of what level of foreknowledge they have. But you know, as long as you add a spoiler wall to it, like I said earlier last VOD, and I forget what their tag is, but the other commenter, I'm so sorry if you end up watching this as well, they ended up doing, I don't mind you posting it, as long as you spoiler wall it. Exactly, Munch. It's really easy to spoil, and it's impossible to take back. Which makes it really annoying when people do it. That seems reasonable. I love Evangeline Morgan. In that case, it wouldn't even be pretending, since it would be my literal blind speculation I had at the time. But since you know I finished, like you said, you would assume I was spoiling. I mean, you can preface it. The thing is, it wouldn't be that I assume you were spoiling. What would happen is I would assume that you're posting it to add... Like, not with an agenda, that's kind of like a too loaded of a term. It's more like... If it wasn't an interesting thing to say or an interesting observation that has some relevance, you wouldn't be posting it. So because you have that foreknowledge, there is some reason you're posting it. And, you know, then I would read it and maybe it's just some cool observation or like it stands on its own merit. But if it wasn't something interesting on its own, then I have to guess that there's a reason it's posted, right? But I don't tend to read too much into it. If you say it's your blind reaction at the time, then that's cool. That's completely fine. Like, I've definitely gotten spoiled in way worse ways. That don't annoy me. I doubt you would do anything wrong by posting something like that. Speaking of, I don't know if I've been spoiled by the Discord, not my Discord, but the Last Sovereign Discord, or if I've like repressed that I played into Chapter 5, and I just don't remember like much at all. But I have this single memory of the Chosen just fucking like glitching out. And I could have sworn it happened before now, but now I'm just waiting for that to happen. See if it's something that's like removed from the game, or if I played deeper than I remembered, and you know, I'll learn it later. Because my memory is so spotty at this point, I don't remember much at all. In any case, what I'm gonna do is I've got sushi in front of me. I'm not gonna eat a lot of sushi at a time. I'm gonna take like 10-minute breaks between my bites. So let's get into the game for now, and then I'll eat a bit more sushi in like 10-15 minutes. I want to pace myself because I have to stay awake all night anyway, and it's generally nicer to eat slow rather than fast. I think I can play this visual novel with a controller. That would be nicer for my ergonomics. Let's see if I can't find my controller in my backpack. I'm coming off a 13-hour shift, but somehow I'm not feeling that at all. I actually feel really like awake and alert. Which is why I wanted to take this opportunity to get into the game while I feel I can be useful, and then just chill for the rest of the night. Let's see if this works. Yay, it does translate to controls. Good. In high roller mode, you're limited to one save slot, and you won't be able to reload your saves while inside the courtroom. Quick saving and autosaves will be disabled as well. The minimum ante for hands will be increased. The minimum and maximum penalties for answering incorrectly during trial gameplay will be increased. But the maximum ante will be increased as well, allowing you to earn the largest possible high score for credit in this episode. Completing this episode in high roller mode will also unlock an exclusive phone charm that can't be earned any other way. You can turn high roller mode off at any time in settings, but in order to turn it back on, you would have to restart this episode. High roller mode is intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Consider enabling it if you want to pursue this mystery like a true gambler. Which I do. But if you eat slow, how are you going to melt the roof of your mouth? I would prefer not to, just as a general rule. I think that'd be nicer. Also, tell me if the volume is good or if I should like increase it. I've got it kinda low. I might be a little bit too low actually. Volume is good? Okay. I wasn't sure about the music, but I forgot that there's actual effects in this. That'll probably end up being way louder. Welcome to the high roller tables. Enjoy the thrill. Disable tutorials. You can turn them back on in settings. I mean, the tutorials are all the stuff we've already been doing, right? So I doubt there's anything there I need to see, unless there's new mechanics. I like to live dangerously, so let's disable tutorials. We've played this game before. First question's an easy one. Who's your senator? Muffings? Piece of shit, still trying to lie to our faces. Maffings is our senator, man. What? Still? Shit. Hey, wake up. Ugh. From the top, I guess. Right, speaking of gambling, crazy how we had back-to-back record-setting Powerball lottos lately, huh? The world is going to hell with gambling. The lotto getting bigger and bigger is just, like, a karmic way of showing the trajectory we're on as humanity, you know? The Powerball is going to get like 10 times bigger, and then it's all going to explode. We're gonna sit with like $1 trillion on the Powerball. From the top, I guess. Oh, no. Okay, what the fuck? Wait. Why did it do that? I put the settings to Insta. Do I remove the auto weight? Because it just skipped. It just skipped the thing. Maybe I should just let it go slowly. Instead of doing it this way, maybe I should just let it be like somewhat default like this. Backlog L. Left trigger. What is your name? Okay. Ikaria. But like, why? Ikari. Japanese name. What year is it? 2086. Okay, but wait. Where we ended up, we had just finished the case with making sure our little robot friend has autonomy and won't be absolutely owned by the government and demolished probably. And we had just taken them as a, I was gonna say the Swedish word for it, a disciple, or yeah, like they're trying to learn from us in our line of work. So now we're panning to a different scene with different characters, and I have a feeling that every single character here is going to be new. 2086. Does that track with where we were last time? I don't recall, but that feels like something they'll clarify. And given the odds are 1 in 300 million to find a winner, the Powerball going above 600 million is above expected odds, so logically there is a cap for how high it can go. For example, if every person in America bought a unique ticket, the Powerball would always have at least one winner and a 1/4 chance of 2 winners with a pot of 800 million per drawing. Yeah, I mean, that is correct, yeah. That exactly, and Munch is correct. You winning the lottery would be crazy. Somebody winning the lottery is extremely mundane. Yep. One of those things that intuitively to some people don't make sense, but it's exactly how it works. What did you say last time? 2027? Maybe this stuff's finally working. Is this a time traveler? It's 2086. 2086, yeah. Wait, okay. My fucking stick is bugging out. 2086, and now it says 2027. Maybe the stuff's finally working. Dog does know how to shake. You can go for... Okay. Hence why it's odd that the pot is so big back to back. It's a neat statistical outlier. What happens if you win the Powerball? Does it reset back to like 0 and it has to build back up, or does it reset to a like percentage of what the pot was? Because I was thinking that if it becomes large one time, isn't it more likely to like be large the time after? Or does it drain back to 0 between each winning? Because I assume that you win all of it in one go. It builds back up. Okay, from 0. Then yeah, then it is a very neat statistical outlier. That's cool. What if they're just hoarding the ticket, and that's why, you know, someone already has it since the start. They're just not going in with it. Nah, we're doing some real conspiracy theory shit. Oh, I'll move the chat up a little bit so it's not in the way of the text boxes. Let's see. Again, in the head. One thing I said. One thing I asked. Anywhere but the head. Not my fault he's got a punchable face. So, we calibrated yet, or what? No. But we're as close as we're gonna get with equipment this old. You want to get to the real questions, or does it need more softening up? I just said I want softening them up in the head. How about it? You still with us? Hound? You're gonna feel a migraine hit you like a tram in a few seconds. Do me a favor and hold on to the pain. Let go, and the barbitocene will drop you like an anchor. That can't be a real word. That cannot be a real word. We are making things up right now. We are experts at making things up. Barbitocene. This is gonna be a sci-fi thing. There's no way there's a real word. Okay, good. That's all I had to check. You technically only win half. Also, now every ticket is tracked. They know if a winner was drawn ahead of time, since each ticket machine tracks what ticket it has dispensed. Makes sense. You win half because the winnings are taxed? Yes, but you win half after tax, but it still drains 100% from the pool. That makes sense. Let go, and the barbitocene will drop you like an anchor. Don't want you a vegetable, alright? Yeah, that's the spirit. Knew you were a fighter. Barbitocene is real, it's just one of those made-up medicine names. Oh, okay, crazy. Can I post a link to Off the Devil art from 2024? Of course. Post ahead. I think I've turned off all the filters for stuff like that, so... What do we got here? Baller. Feel like the eyes are off though. Don't know, but this is cool. Feel like she would have a more sultry look. That's the wrong click. But it's pretty dang cool. Let's go gambling, yes or no? Let's go gambling for sure. Above average gaming, do you know anything about this game actually? Do you want me to give you a quick refresher what we're doing? What we're dealing with? Or do you just want to vibe and get, you know, osmosis, get what the vibe is? Yeah, not a wink. Nice. I'll let you answer the second question while I keep reading. Yeah, that's the spirit. Knew you were a fighter. Question 1. Do you know why you're here? Because you were too spooked to do this over a line. I'm always the right amount of spooked. Red. The already collecting general vibe. This game is a cross between Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. We have a very interesting main character. Her name is Morgan. You'll see her in a second. She is a murderer, and she's also an Ace prosecutor. Or not defendant. Ace defendant, not prosecutor. In the tutorial of this game, or like the prologue case, she is the villain. She is the culprit, and she defends a different character. She has immaculate vibes and is a gambler. And in episode 1, which is... We're playing episode 2 now. In episode 1, she comes into ownership of a AI. Unlike the other futuristic AIs, this one is essentially just a human, but with superhuman intelligence and superhuman strength and no limitations whatsoever. The final creation of David Asher, I believe his name is, which was the father of machines in this universe, before he died. And what ended up happening in episode 1 was, well, multiple things. Trying to figure out how David Asher died, and also making sure that the robot wouldn't get possessed by the state. Especially because we didn't want people to find out that they don't have any limitations and could probably like crush humanity. And that's kind of where we left off. We've won that case, and no one is aware that the main character is a murderer yet. The prosecutor she's fighting against is like really fucking smart, so there's a good chance that like that'll pop up. But it makes you wonder kind of what the dynamic will be. We were left off at a very uncertain part, so it's kind of interesting to get a cold open. I'm guessing this is going to be the background to a new murder case of some sort. When I tell you there's heat, I mean it. I know, and I always listen. See? Breathable layers. God damn it. You laughed. Doesn't mean I conceded the point. Oh, I keep thinking you're lighter. It keeps like... whatever. I'll figure it out. You memorized the map? You kept it pretty vague, but yeah. I think I got the gist of it. You're that worried about a paper trail? Proctiv Analytics just won a state contract for new trawling algorithms that can de-anon an entire city block's crumbs in less than an hour. David Asher is giving major Kevin Ashton vibes from Skeleton Soldier. Couldn't protect the dungeon. Oh yeah, I actually really love that web novel. I don't know if it's become a webtoon / a manhwa, but I read the original web novel and that was a really fun light read. Oh, I read the original web novel. I haven't read the manhwa, but I finished the web novel ages ago. It's really good. Not the deepest thing, but it was a good time. Okay, can I... Okay, that's... phone. Terms. IoT. Internet of Things, yeah. We're gonna populate a glossary here, and then we're also gonna populate profiles with everything. I assume Crumbs is gonna pop in there in a second. Didn't you read the financial section today? I'm more of a Sudoku gal. We can't all be as well-read as Reinhard Diamani. I'm sending you the links. Read them, and the rest of the news too. Currently at the Moon Goddess arc? Ooh. That's sort of later in the story. It's about 80% in, I want to say. 75? Interesting. Proposition 492 is gonna be on the ballot this year. You shouldn't vote on it blindly. For a guy who makes the majority of his living operating outside the law, you sure take your civic duties seriously. Information brokering isn't illegal. What people choose to do with my advice... Do you declare the income for it on your taxes? Sorry. I promise to take a look at what you sent over. Also, the game penalizes you if you don't read these things, which I find really fun. Let me see, it might be better to move chat to this side, because everything is gonna pop up on the left side in this game. With elections coming up, a number of measures related to infrastructure, public works and funding for city programs will be on the ballot soon. Read on to get an overview of some of the most hotly anticipated issues you'll be able to vote on in the coming months. Yeah, you'll see that this universe is very much like a dystopia. Proposition 436.2D. Petition for City Council to commission cost analysis on public schooling. Sponsored by Aaron, Houston, and Mayors, which I don't believe... I think Mayors was listed as a really big company. I don't remember the other ones from the previous episode. For the last several decades, all education has been handled through private institutions, typically associated with one or more corporate benefactors. While this has eased the expense of childcare and pre-university education for many families, some citizens regularly voice concerns over children being treated as customers first and students second. There are several schools throughout the city that accept students at no cost to their parents, but these are reliant on government subsidies, introducing the potential for waste and corruption, and are generally seen as subpar environments for learning. If enough voters say A to this petition, City Council will commission a study to evaluate the cost and feasibility of reintroducing direct public schooling to the city. Leander was a great character. Bro was Doom guy coded as fuck. Sword guy too angry to die. I have very vague memories of this. Let me actually take a quick tangent to check when I read it. It was on Wuxia World. Please tell me it's still there. WuxiaWorld.com. God, they've changed the UI when they got bought up. Skeleton soldier failed to defend this dungeon. I'm trolling. There is a different skeleton dungeon novel I have read. Which also takes place or like goes to the moon. I search skeleton. Do I get the other one? No. Because it was done like ages ago, so why is it not done now? Incredibly confused at this. You only read the manhwa? Makes sense. Can I see... Oh god, the website is so bad now. Completed Korean. Let me see if I can't show the window capture. Yeah. Let me see if I can't find it. It had fairly good reviews actually. Can I get completed popular? Overgeared is complete now? Interesting. Maybe I'll read that. I've read every single one of these, by the way. Except I didn't finish Overgeared. But I've read every single one of these back in the day. Long time ago. Stop Friendly Fire. This is the one. The Empire has turned into the land of the undead due to a spell gone wrong. God summoned heroes from countless worlds to purify the Empire and plant new hope. Li Xin Wu, an ordinary Earthling, was also summoned. As an undead, that is. This ends up being a dungeon crawler work that goes to the moon. And some other stuff. But Stop Friendly Fire is the one I read. So I actually don't know what you're talking about. My bad. Interesting. Guess I'll maybe have to read that on my own. Okay, let's see here. Proposition 492-1A, funding of Atlas Pillar Rejuvenation Project, sponsored by Shoppin, Howe Industries, and Wickham. Voting A on this measure will direct City Council to fund the renovation and reinforcement of multiple Atlas pillars around the lower wards, paid for by a % increase in sales tax within city limits. Atlas pillars act as stabilizing points for the city's canopy, super infrastructure, and house all the largest public transit elevators. You can kind of tell, but the yellow text tend to be kind of like the important things to keep track of. So I'm keeping an extra note on that. Also been enjoying I'm the Faded Villain, a level 900 Goblin, 999. Oh, and Mr. Zombie. Nice. I haven't read manhwa or web novels in a long time. I've been reading Discworld recently, but I tend to go cycles where I read like either traditional, like I read in a circle. Right now I'm on traditional literature, and then I go to manga, and then to manhwa, then to web novels, and so on and so forth. Kind of when I feel like I run out and want something fresh. And house all the largest public transit elevators that allow foot traffic to seamlessly flow between the canopy and street level. What am I on right now? I'm on... I just finished Guards, and now I'm on the second one afterward, which is The Watchmen, I believe. No, it's Discworld. Can I get the list? It's Men at Arms. I'm reading Men at Arms right now. I'm about 30% through Men at Arms, but it's a pretty slow go. I've read Color of Magic, Light Fantastic, and I've read Guards, and Men at Arms is what I'm reading right now. I kind of want to go through them kind of like concurrently. So I'm reading, like I read the first two here, and now I'm reading the first two here. And I was going to do the Death novels and kind of like progress them at the same time. I love Vimes. Vimes is a fantastic character. The measure is generally viewed favorably by representatives from the lower wards, who acknowledge that the necessary construction will be disruptive, but point to language in the proposition that guarantees easing of zoning restrictions around the pillars as vital to reducing unemployment in the target regions. Previous, comparable proposals that renovated city pillars north of the park have been touted as successful examples, and studies have shown that poverty is down and citizen satisfaction is up in the surrounding areas. Some number of city council members representing uptown districts have voiced skepticism about these economic benefits, but none have argued against the architectural reality of the canopy's need for additional structural reinforcement. I'm so curious where this is gonna go. I love Def. He's so good. Which exactly of the city's older Atlas pillars will be targeted for this rejuvenation is yet to be disclosed. Past experience has shown that, due to the nature of vertically integrated real estate, property values in the lower wards can either skyrocket or even drop into the negative based on which pillars are rejuvenated, and the city is wary of disrupting the real estate market in the lower wards with rampant outsider-funded speculation. I'm gonna bet that the murder or initial murder here is going to be a ploy to manipulate the price of this property. Proposition 4931A, renaming Atlas Pillars to honor local community figures, sponsored by Danford, Johnson, Sungho, and Wickham. Nicknamed the Pillars of the Community Project in the headlines, Prop 493 seeks to rename the Atlas Pillars around the city after local leaders and national figures, replacing the current system where pillars are given alphanumerical designations based on the streets they are built atop of. Few members of the city council have spoken explicitly for or against the measure, but polls show general support among the citizenry, with some questions about how the new names will be chosen. Atlas was originally an internal name for the super infrastructure constructs, but leaked blueprints and contractor word of mouth spread the moniker and has become rooted itself in the culture in the years since, despite having what the major at the time reportedly described in private as an ominous ring to it. How long is this fucking thing? Okay, this is the last one. Okay. Proposition 5273B. Commission of report on victims of acid snow. Okay, we're setting up for a doozy of bullshit to happen here. Sponsored by Hernandez, Lang, and Mohammed, which are not present on any of the other propositions. Completely unique sponsors, might be relevant later. The acid snow incident sits prominently at the forefront of the public conscience following the Greyfall documentary that premiered earlier this year. Previously underreported on, while the industrial accident did not create snow and did not in fact add acid to the atmosphere, the film's eyewitness accounts of the scarring children received that early morning nearly 2 decades ago as they played in what they thought was an unseasonable snowfall have spurred public outcry. If this proposition receives enough A's at the ballot box, the city will commission a full investigation into the victims of the incident, including assessment of damages for what could one day be a public fund for medical treatment. Critics of the proposition argue that after 20 years, few of the victims will still be residents of the city, assuming they can be found at all. Others point to the state lawsuit Gendo Chemicals settled 15 years ago as sufficient compensation for the victims. Though, as one of the conditions of that settlement, Gendo did not admit any fault or wrongdoing on the part of corporate leadership. Okay, what bullshit are we dealing with? How can you be this calm? A chance like this doesn't come around. Well, ever. Also love how now understanding the reference from the All Guardsmen Party, a Warhammer 40k D&D style tabletop story about a group of guardsmen, one of the classics being the lovely Nubby Nubs. You know the reference when I first heard the story? I did not, so I got the full experience before my binge. I fucking love... what is it? Is he corporal now? He's not, right? He teared up between guards into men-at-arms, but he's such a fucking gremlin, that character. I didn't know that 40k referenced it, that's awesome. Frankly, I'm still surprised they were willing to put up the funds it took to commission this thing. What do you think changed? Nothing ever changes in the lower wards. It's It's what I would say if I was feeling dramatic. Heartbreak made organized crime look like a bunch of cowards hiding on the rocks. Here's the interesting note for you. Heartbreak is the murder name of our protagonist. She specifically used a ancient relic, i.e. a current modern gun, modern pistol, but one without all the security add-ons they require now. Like there's, you know, fingerprint scanning, you need it keyed to your person, and you need to be logged in like 700 databases, etc, etc. So she had an old one, and she's named Heartbreak because she killed, I believe, 7 people in one shot through the heart each. Perfect aim every time. The case in the prologue was, quote-unquote, the final Heartbreak kill. It's what I would say if I was feeling comedic. Don't joke about heartbreak before sending a woman off into the lower wards by herself. Because you're such a delicate flower in need of protection. How about you start feeling analytic and give me your real answer? Okay, let me see. Has her profile changed? Date of birth, December 26th. Height, 175. AB. Occupation, criminal defense attorney. Likes power washers, lamb shops, and prime numbers. Those were not there before. Interesting. One of them was like, likes murder. Dislikes lectures, felt the violin. Plays blackjack, Texas Hold'em, CeeLo, Mahjong, and E-card. Favorite flower, the funny looking red ones. Licorice radiata. Eggs, fried and runny. Okay, so that has changed tremendously since last time. Fine. In my humble opinion, the Rust made the first move. Demand for their products has gone up, so they set to work with their syringes and cleavers and vans. Mobile shops hunting for product to fill the supply gap. Supply gap? You can't spit without it landing on a Vitruvian clinic. How's the biggest it's ever been? What mods aren't being printed to demand? It was a fan group playing a D&D style 40k game. Other characters include Sergeant, title and name, the Inquisitor Bane Johns, Ivana Crucio, etc. Okay, I love that. I love that. I thought it was an official like module, but that's so sick. Okay, this is important information for you as my captive audience here. Body modification mod is cybernetic enhancements, artificial implants, prosthetics, neural enhancements, or any combination of the above. I don't need to read through the rest of this because I'm fairly sure I've already read the exact page before. However, here's one of my favorite parts about the regular search result pages. They also have at the bottom what users also search for, and this can very clearly be manipulated. You can see that it's not truthful in later ones of these. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants 2086. Yeah, this is exactly the same as what I read before. It's replacement parts, not the mods that the Rust harvest. Vitruvian, HAO, and all the others aren't interested in helping you fix a faulty pump. They just want to sell you a whole new model. The Rust might not always be pretty to look at, but even law-abiding citizens will gladly swallow their distaste for a discount that steep. A lot of modders are veterans, not easy prey. Correct, hence the Rust stockpiling weapons, and in response, the Blue Bloods sensing escalation. But that's just my hypothesis. I ever get pulled into an alley and wake up missing a kidney, we'll call it a formal theory. Did I trip? No, Rust. The domestic criminal organization known as The Rust is more accurately described as a loose collection of smaller gangs, sets, and racketeering operations that formed out of necessity rather than any particular shared value. Broad powers granted to the state and law enforcement to address civil unrest during the 60s meant that small to medium-sized criminal organizations could not survive on their own, as virtually all their members could be detained indefinitely if one or more members was suspected of racketeering, under new laws that classified gang activity as terrorism. While the Rust has evolved since its chaotic initial formation, the spirit of it lives on in the highly diverse culture of the Rust's component cells, or pods. Law enforcement officials disagree on whether the Rust meets the definition of a criminal organization, as many argue that the gangs that make it up are capable of operating completely independently of one another. Some hypothesize that the Rust serves merely as a shadow on the cave wall, intended to make smaller gangs' patterns of violence seem like well-organized planning. As it stands, the Rust is known for its black market operations in illegal and illicitly sourced mods, offering military-grade or foreign-produced mods to civilians. They are particularly known for regularly assaulting and ripping mods out of their victims for resale. Historically, the Rust has been associated with elevated levels of gang violence, earning themselves a fearsome reputation that has, fortunately, limited their ability to assimilate themselves into other segments of society. However, in People 5 Harmony K systems, the state alleged that Harmony K had on numerous occasions employed the Rust as a kind of extra-legal mercenary force when pursuing aggressive market negotiations with their competitors. The case was ultimately settled out of court for an undisclosed penalty amount, but misinformation has persisted ever since, claiming that the Rust has endured despite its violent tendencies due to being sheltered from consequences by corporations who contract the Rust as deniable mercenaries. Many great characters. The DM started the game by having them roll up to like a full 1000 character platoon and playing through a regular Warhammer battle. The characters they got to play were Who Escaped the Tyranids. Got the vibe of DM will party vibe you on a whim across quite well. I mean, if you set the tone like that, that's a fantastic experience. I really love tense role-playing, but you gotta set the terms early, and that seems like a great way to do that. Also, I'll say this, there's not, the articles are very much front-loaded at the start in this game, so eventually we're gonna get the plot going, but I'm pretty keen to see what the backstories here are. Well, the Rust is obviously gonna be a major component. I'm just curious if, what the relationship is gonna end up being. And yes, this is a game for perverts who love reading. I ever get pulled into an alley and wake up missing a kidney, we'll call it a formal theory. It's not like we're talking about a weapon of mass destruction. What makes the Blues think they can win a gang war with it? Maybe they found the right soldier to wield it. The idea lingers in the air for a moment as I gaze out the window. Windows and neon and advertisements galore float up past us like bubbles of air as we make our descent. Down into our beautiful city's scenic lower wards. How's this part go again? Through me, the way to the city woe. Through me, the way to eternal dole. Through me, the way among the lost. Inferno, Canto the Third. Welcome to the underworld, Dante. Sometimes hot, sometimes misty, sometimes choking with poison. Always dark. That the official forecast? More accurate than whatever's on your phone. Between the skyscrapers, the generators, the turbines, and the canopy, every city block's got its own climate. Down here. 9 circles of fresh hell. If you get the reference, say something. Don't make me feel crazy for 5 minutes so you can feel smart for 5 seconds. I love doing that. The smog of the lower wards lingers on your skin long after you make the climb back out. This place clings to you, unwanted, cloying attachment. But there's an honesty to all human interaction down here that makes it trivial for me to navigate. And it's got a nightlife rife with opportunities for someone with my particular interests. That's a reference to her being a murderer, in case it wasn't clear. Little Timmy, who lied on his H-Docs to join the guard early, casually decapitated and stepped over as another body on the pile. They were rolling the characters as they went, so the players were just as jaded as the guards. That's a fantastic vibe. Honestly jealous that I haven't been part of that. I should get into D&D role-playing, like get a static group. That would be really fun. I did a very short stint, 2 free sessions before it all fell apart, but I really like D&D role-playing, so I'd love to do more. And especially in other systems. I really like 40k as well. Sorry I couldn't get you anything else to work with. It was short notice. I know better than to bet against you by now, Red. But still. It's sweet of you to worry. But this is a surefire thing. Are you gonna murder someone? Spoken like a true addict. I mean it. I'm here for business, not pleasure. Key thing to take away if you're actually watching the screen when we're playing this game. When she's introspective or in murder mode, her eyes go dark. They're kind of like her serious internal, like, thinking eyes. I don't plan on leaving anything to chance. Be the cyber. Avoid the populated streets. Turn away from brightly lit spots. Follow the trail of graffiti and broken cameras, past food stands and steam vents, down the rabbit hole. It sounds more complicated than it actually is in practice. It's easy to end up on the wrong side of town, as long as you're trying to. Reinhardt's map narrowed the search a lot more than I expected. But I'll be on my own from here on out. The Tail Forge? Can you send a link in chat? I'll look that up. Or rather, I'll maybe watch that after we're done with the stream. It's gotta be one of these 3 buildings. Assuming the vibes are good. So, let's go over what I know. I'm looking for a base of operations for a mid-tier kind of pod. Rougher than a storefront, not as fortified as a headquarters. A location that makes customers feel safe, not trapped. Of course, if I just start knocking on doors, they'll probably find me, with weapons drawn. So, if I want to be smart about this, I better use all my senses. I don't know why my controller is like bugged out, but you see it like keeps moving. But then it like doesn't drift unless I'm already moving in the direction, and it only happens up and down. I feel like the stick box is breaking in a weird way. It also happens where I'll end up dragging further up faster. Anyway, yeah, now we are investigating. Well, this place looks like shit. Looks more like a haunt, just dry enough for users to pass out in than anything else. It's plenty inconspicuous, but a dealer of the level I'm looking for would be considered a made man. Respectable. I doubt they'd be willing to have to step over trash constantly just to keep a low profile. I can also say that I said this game was a hybrid of Ace Attorney and Danganronpa, but I'm of the opinion that the writing is significantly stronger in this game than in either of those. The windows are all dark, like no one's home. But they're all shut too, so it could be that they're just tinted. Alley's clear. Fire escape still there for the most part. Could pass for an alternate exit, if need be. And that door looks sturdy enough to bounce a bullet off. Someone's been renovating. A bit cleaner than the other buildings around here. Could be someone spending money on upkeep. Or maybe this one's just been torn down and rebuilt the least. There are a couple of bodies lingering around outside it. They don't exactly have the organized criminal associate edge. Orca gang. Showing results for organized criminal associate, Orca. Organized Criminal Associate is the label most widely used within law enforcement for individuals who are members of criminal organizations, supplanting terminology used during the first half of the 21st century, in accordance with changes to the organization of, recruitment for, and internal culture within organized crime. Frequently abbreviated with some artistic liberty as orcs, or the more common orcas, law enforcement professionals often use related nomenclature when discussing organized criminal activity in informal settings. For example, an orca may also be referred to as a killer whale, Kale or KW. A group of orcas may be called a pod, while a known gathering place may be labeled a den. Maybe a playlist tremble at the amount of content. Nice, I will keep that on my other monitor. I will actually save the playlist on YouTube. Thank you very much. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. A lot of pods will pay civilians good money just to keep their eyes open. It's certainly dark. But there's a camera out front and it's not broken. Overall, it's probably just some mechanic garage that shuts down the power to save money at night. Okay, might as well pull the trigger. Dingy, but not a shithole. Some secure features, but the paint's not too shiny. Goldilocks takes it. This is my best bet. But why? Why do I feel like I'm being watched? Hello there. Hey. Great acting. You supposed to be the lookout? Red Hood. What did you say? I've actually drawn some of my friends in great content before this. This is not my first rodeo of fear. Happy to hear it. I tend to just drown people in content all around me all the time. It's kind of like a general thing I do, so I'm happy to, like, have a kindred spirit in you there, because I just link stuff to everyone and go, you gotta watch this, you gotta do this, please take part in something I enjoy. It is a great joy of mine. The amount of people I've gotten into The Last Sovereign is a good example of that. I think the total number is at like 6 or 7 right now. I'm not doing a Mineko this year, by the way. I'm not surprised. It's a big-ass commitment. No worries, though. He'll be there for you. It won't run. I say, for Mineko, do episode 1 and then decide if you want to keep going. If you love the vibes of episode 1, you'll likely enjoy the rest of it. If you didn't get too hooked by episode 1, you probably won't enjoy the rest of it. People come down here to be anonymous, or the closest thing to it in the modern day. HFY? I don't know anything about HFY. Never heard the term before. Alright, skipped it. It's considered poor etiquette to stare at anyone for more than a moment. It's a faux pas to make an effort to remember someone. Commenting on another's dress isn't a slap to the face, but it is odd. My number that I know of is 2, but I have recommended it to the same number. Nice. The Last Sovereign, I assume. Go away. At least they can take direction. Whatever, a lookout being around just confirms that I've picked the right building. Time to try the door. We'll make them open up. So here's the, I won't say the main thing, but there's a, in your phone you have the ships here. You get ships by doing things correctly. and you lose them by doing them incorrectly. It can vary depending on the type of content it is, or like the type of question. This one I don't think is gonna steal any ships from me. But specifically, we are playing on High Roller, which means I only have one save. Why is it's because I have the controller locked in and it's broken. But this game actually brings out like pretty good questions for what you have to do. So here I think it's pretty simple to say that we got a knock, right? People come down here to be anonymous, or the closest thing to it in the modern day. So I feel like calling is silly, and money maybe, but I feel like starting with money is very weird here. We'll make them open up. It could be money, because they are a gang. I would say knock, but you could also be knocking incorrectly. It could also be money. Let's double check the relevant the relevant term with the Rust. The Rust is known for its black market operations in illegal and illicitly sourced mods. They're particularly known for regularly assaulting and ripping mods out of their victims for resale. So I would knock here. It's either money or knock, but I'm gonna go knock. No answer. Should I have tried knocking in a pattern? Shave and a haircut. No, that'd be silly. Sometimes there's nothing on the line and you gotta try all of them. So let's do money. I have money! Actually, I have a dark card. I should have provoked a reaction, a grunt, footsteps, something. I place my hand against the door absent-mindedly, ready to move to plan B. Now, I'm curious. Normally I can't... Like, if I load here... We'll see what happens. HFY is an SCP-sized rabbit hole, mostly of sci-fi stuff, generally inverting the standard of the classic humans versus alien tropes on their head. Casual stuff like aliens being afraid of humanity surviving on a high-class death world, and how we do crazy shit like consume poison as a recreational activity. Not always sci-fi though. In fact, one of my favorite HFY stories is called Dungeon Life, where a guy gets reincarnated as a dead-ass literal dungeon, like the location itself, and builds it up over time, which is not a unique concept, by the way. I've read at least 4 novels about that concept. Let me see, is Dungeon Life one of the ones I've read? Dungeon Life is not one of the ones I've read, but like there's the Reluctant Dungeon, which I have read. There is at least one more. It's not Dungeon Heart I'm thinking of. Is it Tiny Dungeon Core? Might be Tiny Dungeon Core. But yeah, that is not a unique concept. There's a whole genre of that. Whole genre of that. Dungeon Core. God, it starts on HFY. Sick. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I enjoy the genre in general, but I feel like I've read like most of what's there, or like most of what's interesting in it. That was a while ago though, and I see now that the Dungeon Life one has significantly better reviews than the other one, so maybe I'll give that a look. That should have provoked a reaction, a grunt, footsteps, something. I place my hand against the door absent-mindedly, ready to move to plan B. I feel movement. Locks being checked, perhaps a doorknob palmed. Anxiety and curiosity pit against one another by an onlooking greed. How do you enter a closed room? First, you try pushing. When that doesn't work, naturally you forget it. I'll find some other... No need for master keys or any other trickery. If you know what you're doing, doors will open for you. Like magic. The door's not the only thing that's been reinforced around here. This apartment building, motel, whatever it used to be, someone's made a lot of effort to file it down. Hallways blocked off with chicken wire and stripped furniture. Access panels ripped out, doors welded shut. They took a maze and ground it down into a one-way street. Or maybe a shooting gallery. With blaring musical accompaniment. Don't get any ideas. Got no vacancy. And here I'd thought I found my dream home, Mr. Call me Trey. And too bad, we're closed this month. Songming Trey Trench. April 2nd, height 177, weight 62 kilos, blood type O+, occupation freelancer, likes vending machines, skate parks and ice ships, dislikes rich kids, fried food, cops, loitering, 3 arrests, 0 convictions, larceny, 2 arrests, 1 conviction, truancy, no incidents on record. I really gotta get a new controller, which sucks. I think my controller might actually be in the returnal, or like return window. Wait, you're serious? You rent these out? Of course we do. This is a business. Right, and you, see a lot of demand? This is the lower wards, bitch. Besides the word without emphasis, like a subconscious honorific. Never mind, let me retake that. This is the lower wards, bitch. I'm not honored, but I can't find it in myself to be offended either. Tons of stray ducks who'll pay top for a sight to stay low a night or two. I can see why. This is the hallway. The rooms are clean. Sure. Look, the doors are heavy, the locks are all physical, and it's quiet. So, this is a safe house for rent. Safe rooms for rent, but like I said, we're not open for business right now. Curious? Come on, up the stairs already. And no mask when we get up there. And curiouser. A good mask is like a good pair of boots in the lower wards. Keeps you clean, keeps you moving, makes your journey a dozen times more comfortable. And if you leave the house barefoot, you can expect to bring back something unsavory attached to you. It's not odd for him to be barefaced, but demanding that I not wear mine is... Seriously? Stuff it in your pocket right now. I mean, who are we to refuse? I mean, some of the signs alone are great, like Rocky the Zombie Boxer, or Grim the Ground Reaper / the Earth Elemental Bard with an electric axe guitar, but the town and other dungeons also have and are great characters in their own right, like the kids, the dungeon inspector, etc. etc. You know, I don't know anything about it, so nothing you said there matters. You'll have... This is the type of thing where I would tell you to join the Discord, and then I would post updates if I was reading it at the time, and we can like talk about it then. But I can't really get like a read on anything from saying that some characters are good, right? If you want to work like a really good novel with definitely over triple digits number of characters, read A Practical Guide to Evil. That shit has definitely over 100 characters. Probably closer to like 400 named characters or something. Very good series. Okay, this is a conundrum. Let's think here. Agreeing, I think, makes the most sense. We don't really have anything to... Right? It depends, because this is one of those where it's like... but demanding that I not wear mine. Okay, let's see exactly what... Oh my god, my stick is gonna kill me. A good mask is like a good pair of boots in the lower wards. Keeps you clean, keeps you moving, makes your journey a dozen times more comfortable, and if you leave the house barefoot, you can expect to bring back something unsavory attached to you. What brand of controller anyways? It's just a regular Xbox controller, and I've only had it for like a handful of months, and the stick is just immediately broken, which is incredibly annoying. I barely used it, I feel. I kinda wanna refuse here, just based on how the dialogue has gone here, but demanding that I not wear mine is... I'm mostly curious what we'll get from it. I mean, can't really save scum too hard, but I can save scum a little bit. These early ones. I'm good. I'll wear my mask if I want to. Bitch. He says it pleadingly, as if it's supposed to placate me. Look, lose the gloves at least, or we're gonna have problems. So that's their game. This isn't a power move, it's insurance. If this place ever gets busted, evidence of my visit will be all over the place. They're giving their customers extra incentive to make sure this shithole remains a hidden gem. A reasonable idea on their part, but it doesn't change my answer. I love that I can't even... I did the right thing there. I did the right thing by refusing. Power move. Well, refuse. That's not happening. Bitch. Whatever. Have fun explaining to the boss why you can't follow basic instructions. That does sound fun. Watch it. You're a guest here. A guest? I'm a paying customer. And if you try to get me to remove any more articles of clothing, I'm leaving a scathing review. You haven't paid yet. Come on. Right behind you. I'm so down with this intro. This intro is so strong. Through here? Yeah. Hey, I'll get the door. Huh? Okay, we're introducing a whole ass gang. Howdy! Where the hell did you find her? Must have fallen out of the canopy like ripe ass shit fruit. Because if she didn't fall out of the damn sky, that'd mean Trey opened the door for her. Right, Trey? Thanks, come on, she... How hard is it to not open a goddamn door? Other fun HFI stories I've been reading lately are wearing power armor to a magical school, galactic, high, and humans don't make good familiars. Yeah, I'm not gonna read any HFI story, like, now. I've got too many things on my list. If you got a specific recommendation from them, then you can, like, send it to me. Also, Job for a Deaf Worlder I've definitely seen around. I've read parts of Job for a Deaf Worlder. No, I'm saying pick one. If you really want to recommend something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna glaze, like, my eyes are gonna glaze over. If it's not something I recognize. Anchor Tanks Tan, August 11th, 191 centimeters, 100 kilos. 100 kilos for that height is kind of high, especially because he doesn't look that beefy. I wonder if it's related to the cybernetic wear. Occupation handyman. Likes parkour, spray paint, stainless steel. Dislikes beer cans, water stains, cops. 2 arrests on assault, 3 for grand theft and 2 convictions, and incarcerations 18 months, juvenile correction. Okay. Well, she has... Shut up. The others aren't fazed by his volume. This is normal. The big guy's always like this. But his outburst is giving me a moment to take in the scenic view. Brings a tear to my eye. You. Me? Who else? Hit that. A cigarette? Dungeon life and wearing power armor would be the 2 best recommendations if I had to narrow it down. Bring power armor to a magic school. Nice, I've written it down. It's laced with drugs. Or don't. I'd love an excuse to kick your ass back down these stairs. They think I'm a cop. They think I'm a cop and cops can't use drugs when undercover. Oh, so she knows that cops can use drugs when they're undercover, but yeah, that's funny. They're under a misconception. I could quote them the exact law that invalidates this legal defense, but I gather that wouldn't assuage their concerns. Yeah, above average gaming. That makes sense. Also, do you want to shorten it? Do you want me to shorten it to, like, above? I'll just go above. Or AA. AA also works. Yo, AA! Well, what's it gonna be? I mean, I gotta accept, right? Was mostly going on for the sake of the point, to be honest, lol. Yeah, that's fair. Didn't see it as a competition, I was just saying that, like, feel free to share stuff if it becomes, like, relevant here. I bring up something, you're like, oh, you'd like that, or whatever, you know? Abagam works, that's an amazing, like, combination. I love that. I actually really like that, Abagam. I mean, we accept here, right? Like, refusing is not gonna... I mean, they did say you're laced with drugs, but... Laced with drugs. Curious what happens if I refuse, but I think accept is correct. I'm gonna do refuse and then get fucked for it. That was in your mouth, man. What? Sorry, it's not that you're bad looking. It's just Trey. Who the hell is this? This red bitch? You trying to jinx us? She's a customer. Just go with my IRL name of Josh. Josh works as well, but I'm so impressed by your, like, hyphenation of Abagam that I'd rather go with Abagam. It also sounds closer to, like, one of the 99 Demons of Hell. Abaddon, which I like. I know she's a customer. We get customers every day, every other day of the goddamn year. Why do you have to bring her in here tonight? There we go. This is it. I found the place. Well, Creek, she's got... Look at me. Don't talk to Creek. Talk to me. She's got a dark card. Whoo! I ran the cereal downstairs. Scanner got hot like a hand warmer trying to crunch it, so... It's legit, right? Sounds just like a real name. I love that. Yeah, it's really good. Dark card, huh? I nod. Hard enough to start playing a little more conservatively once you know the stakes. Right. Wait. Let me think back. Did we get the dark card last episode? I think we might have. Did we... There's a non-zero chance that we inherited David Asher's entire fortune. I don't recall if that is what happened. I have a slight memory of it. And David Asher was the, like, inventor of machines, right? So, if that's the case, we have giga money. Sup, flashlights? Glad to see you. I'm really excited to do a stream here. More people the merrier. Do you remember, Flashlight, if we got the dark card last episode? If I recall, it was from David Asher's belongings. I don't recall the dark card from episode 1. I just recalled them talking about how much money Sarah would give. Sarah was her name, right? Or I think? No, I forget what the name is. We'll find it later. Finishing up my work for holiday season? Nice. Didn't watch last episode? I'm sorry, baby. Fake fan here. Oh, for some reason I thought you'd played the game already. I don't know why. Weren't you around for a bit of last episode? I think you were. You were here for the prologue at the very least. You might not have watched last episode. But in any case, it's nice to see you here. And yeah, I worked 13 hours today, so I feel you. Tomorrow I'll work 12-hour night as well. Whatever the specifics of their leadership structure, they're all looking to this creek right now. You haven't missed anything here, except we're infiltrating a, criminal... I won't say base of operations, but like a minor one. And we don't know why yet. Those are crazy hours. I'm so babied in comparison. I mean, it's not... I get more days off as a result. But today I worked an hour overtime as well, because I've basically been working non-stop for 13 hours, just because we have, like, incidents and shit that I had to take care of. Normally the pressure is fairly low during my work hours, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, what I do is... what would be the English term for it? Like operations? I think it's operations. Drifting? No. It's not administration. It's the we're keeping systems running, and we need to have people there 24/7 to make sure that, you know, there's always eyes on it. What did I get? I got a message from someone who thinks I'm still at work. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh, that's so awkward. So the reason I worked an hour overtime was because we got like errors happening that I had to troubleshoot, and I have the relevant domain knowledge, but the people we were like taking on the next shift don't. So I was staying for an extra hour to troubleshoot. Eventually I figured that, like, okay, it's in a decent enough state, we can't fix the problem right now, I want to go back home. I don't want to troubleshoot all night. And now the person who I was talking to about it said, like, asked a question about it, and right as I replied, take that with the night shift, I went for the day. The instant I say that, they write, oh, this was supposed to go to a different person. And now I feel bad because I, like, preempted him. But it's his fault for writing to me at, like, my off hours. Fuck him. But I don't know his rhythm yet, so I can't exactly match it. Yeah, you don't need to know much about what's happened so far. For the moment, silence is golden. Yeah, but tonight, creek, before the other shit we're expected to shovel. Hey, shouldn't make talk like that in front of the customer. Customer. You'd think the word was old toothpaste the way he spat it out. Translation, outsider. Thanks, yeah, Miller, I know. Heavens, Miller smiles. Okay, this character's gonna be some horseshit. If your name includes heaven and smile, you're gonna be some complete horseshit. Occupation tradesman. Likes horror films, bubblegum, terrariums. Do you hate non-binary people? No. I'm just saying that heaven smiles in a game like this. It's gonna be like that's like the most non-binary ass name. Fair. I don't mind that they're non-binary. I mind that they're in a gang and they're gonna end up being the mastermind, and they're gonna be like really far down the totem pole, but really they're mastering it all behind the scenes type bullshit. Likes horror films, bubblegum, terrariums. Dislikes bookies, gin, and cops. Vandalism 4 arrests, 4 convictions. Extortion 2 arrests, 0 convictions. Littering, no incidents record. I mean, extortion feels like a manipulator type thing. Creek. Occupation entrepreneur. Likes making money, making friends. Dislikes doctors. Grand theft, case dismissed due to lack of evidence. Extortion, case dismissed due to witness recanting. Pronouns any. Lakers, Christoph. This guy's the one that's non-binary. Dude's got any pronouns. No one innocent is called Heaven Smiles. Exactly. Thanks. Yeah, Miller, I know. All the more reason we should tell this bitch to get slagged. Look, she's here now, so why not take her money? Know what? I got a better idea. Apply directly to forehead. The loud one, Tanks, is pressing a barrel directly into my forehead. Why not take her for all she's got? The metal feels cool on my skin. Reminds me of a stethoscope. Breathe in and try not to sigh at the theatrics. Instead, I make eye contact with Creek. Hey now. You can put that away. Did you get the head-on apply directly to the forehead commercials on TV all the time like 10, 20 years ago? Or is that an American thing? That's an American thing. We didn't get that at all. We also don't get medical commercials. They're illegal in Sweden and in all of Europe, actually. They're like basically entirely a America thing. They're not anywhere else. You can't, in all of Europe at least, you can't make commercials on medicine. He reholstered his firearm without so much as a click of the tongue. Mid-tiers. Like I thought, they've got something approaching discipline. Amazing. 50% of my commercials medicine. Exactly. When I went to the US, that was one of the things that stood out to me. All the attorney commercials and all the medical commercials, both of which are banned in Sweden and all of Europe. Mind the safety. Get screwed. So, we good? We're good, we're good. We are good, right, Creek? Threading a thin needle lady. A lot of moving parts beneath the surface here. Give me a minute to clear my schedule for you. Make yourself at home in the meantime. Just don't hover. Yeah? Of course. You won't even notice I'm here. I'm so happy to be back, man. Ooh. That door's nearly as sturdy as the one out front, but a lot more slapped together. What was it originally? That a walk-in freezer? Or that a walk-in freezer or something? What? No, we had an agreement about hovering, yeah? Yeah. It's barred from this side. You have an auto-find now? Yeah, it's it goes through all the evidence, you don't have to do it yourself, which I don't mind. We can do that, actually. That's probably nicer. That way I don't get the stick bugging out. And I also probably does it in like a quote-unquote correct order. What? Nothing. You're just kinda glaring at me. It's my job to glare at suspect bitches like you. Tanks is just superstitious. Though I wouldn't call it a superstition. Until it stops keeping you alive. Am not. Did I pass a black cat on my way in or something? It's your clothes! Again? Didn't know your fine establishment had a dress code. It's not a code, it's just bad goddamn luck to wear red. Bad luck to see red, man. Same thing. Nah, you see the red hood, then you fear for your life. Cosplaying as her is weird, but it won't doom you. Great, it'll only doom us. I don't think I've heard this particular ghost story, boys. Really? You were blending in so well. The Red Rider Hood, the Shinigami, Grim Reaper of the lower wards. Spot her on a misty night, end up dead by morning light. Come on, Creek, don't start that shit when you don't even believe it. Don't have to believe it to have heard the rhyme. You've never heard of the Red Rider Hood? Little girl in the fog in a big red rain hood? Red rain coat. Misted in the crossfire of a shootout between pigs and robbers, wander the ward seeking revenge. Mist slang. Verb slang for shoot, destroy, kill, especially against living things. A slang term meaning to shoot or to kill, that originates from the bloody spray produced when a modern firearm's projectile makes contact with living tissue. E.g., a gun that size could miss a crowd from 100 meters, even if you weren't aiming. Makes sense? No, never. Thought even Uptowners knew this stuff. I wonder. Please tell me this is Heartbreak, but like a different name for it. You're gonna tell me you've never heard of the Cyberpunk or the Little Lord next? Cyberpunk. Noun, a mythologized countercultural icon or way of being. Originally a term coined in a short science fiction story, and later having grown into a genre all its own. Cyberpunk, or cyberpunk, historically has referred to a counterculture centered around the themes of underdogs resisting powerful corporate or government forces through digital guerrilla warfare. While the genre has persisted to modern times and evolved in numerous ways, over the last 2 decades it has taken on new meaning as a kind of mythologized way of being for the adolescent or disaffected to aspire to. A code of conduct that emphasizes anti-authoritarianism, community organizing, corporate disengagement, and socioeconomic consciousness. The so-called singular cyberpunk has become the 21st century man without a name, a wanderer with their own rule of law. Cultural critic Simon Essentia summarized the appeal as thus: "There's no such thing as a 21st century hero. Is it any wonder that the most vulnerable among us turn to the past for guidance?" Users also frequently search for "Get ready with me, Cyberpunk. The 99 Man explained. Are cops illegal or co-ops illegal?" Guess I don't have a good ear for this kind of thing. Or maybe you're just not as smart as you think you are. Tanks, we are pretty far above your pay grade. Says the grown man sweating because of a ghost story. How about I take extra care not to walk under any ladders for the rest of the night and we call it even? Walk under any... Where would you even find a... Oh, did you mean stepladder? Now who's afraid? You look pale as spit. Because for some reason, I just got the horrible feeling that I lost a bet. That's probably a reference to episode 1 that I forgot. Oh, that worked. Okay. Wrong button. Did I interrupt the game? What's your poison? 5 card? Full blind? Is it Monaco? Yeah, it's Monaco rules. Monaco. No, Monaco. Monaco rules. Are those games? We just screw around with whatever we got to kill time, lady. You know your stuff. You ever play around here? Now and then. The hell? You go slumming for card games? Now and then. Have I seen you at a game before? Maybe up by the 30s? Sorry, must have been some other redhead. Damn, thought I'd finally gotten my second chance at getting that beauty's contacts. You practiced that one a lot. Practice it a little. How's it working? Keep practicing. Hey, owned, bro. Get absolutely giga owned. You good, buddy? Looking a little sweaty. Well, that's just because I was exercising before you showed up. Uh-huh. Bitch, you don't believe me? How do you think we defend what's ours down here? I assume the gun I was acquainted with just now played our role. Think we can afford to break the bank on bullets? It's easy to buy a gun. Pulling the triggers also easy. Like kissing it goodbye. It'll rat you out first chance it gets. An aversion to firearms would explain the relatively low fatalities for gang-related violence. The big names can afford to buy a new gun every week, but for everyone beneath them it comes down to crowbars, clubs, knives, and mods. Well, I'm sure you all do very well in your fist fights. Fist fight is juvenile, or UV? Sounds like recess shit. Sorry, fisticuffs? Laugh it up. The first time you hear the sound a steel arm makes caving a skull in, you'll get exactly how we operate. We are partnered with a mech that can lift like 1,000 kilos. Can bench like over 1,000 kilos. Wasn't it like 3,000 kilos? I think our mech buddy, or like cyborg buddy, benches 3,000 kilos, I don't think you are going to be a problem. That's an absurd number, lol. Yeah, so Flashlight, in episode 1, the entire episode revolved around finding out that David Asher created a final, like, AI before dying and hid it for us to find. That AI, unlike every other one on the planet, has no limiters and has no rules, follows nothing. It's essentially a living person with their own, like, autonomy. And then the state wanted to get them, and we had to prove that they're not, like... We had to hide their existence as something special while also solving a murder case that they were accused of, like... They were accused of murder, and we had to prove them innocent without turning them over to the authorities. And now they're our disciple, or at least they were at the end of episode 1. I don't know about episode 2. Right, sorry. That's too... Oh, nice. Got a comment in the Discord, I was just reading out loud. You doing inventory over here? Ouch. Must have caught you on the worst night of the quarter. Quarter? This ain't a meg operation, lady. We take our inventory daily. You are dealing with a lot of fucking, like, throughput then. There's no way you do daily if this is your throughput. Meg is a derogatory and hateful term used to refer to so-called mega corporations or anyone who works for them. There are numerous unverified explanations for how the term originated. Some say it is a natural evolution from the slang word shark, which was used to refer to ruthless individuals or businessmen in the late 20th century. Others claim that Meg was originally short for Megan, a sort of archetypal individual that defended the contributions that corporations have made to society. Tired of having to read anti-industrious sentiment on the net? Check out our auto-censor tools that replace harmful words like Meg with family-friendly alternatives like job creator or patriot. Welcome, Marcus. Glad to see you. Torture. You're gonna suggest we put it all down on a spreadsheet, get everyone to sign off every hour? We got a special name for anything with more than one signature on it. A cricket case. Crico, showing results for Combating Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Criminal Organizations Act. The Combating Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Criminal Organizations Act provides for increased law enforcement powers and impunity when investigating and prosecuting organized criminal charges. The CRICO Act allows for prosecutors to link multiple individual charges of racketeering, contraband, smuggling, or other smaller infractions into criminal conspiracy charges against the entirety of a criminal organization. Though much of the law is built off of previous legislature designed to assist prosecutors in fighting organized crime, the CRICO Act is distinct in that it makes clear the distinction between criminal organizations and corporations that may be operating in violation of the law, considered necessary to adapt to changes in the drug trafficking, gambling, and sex work industries. Before the CRICO Act, prosecutors would at times seek to designate corporations engaging in aggressive market or cartel-like behavior as criminal organizations, arguing that their structure does not significantly differ from what might be called a mafia. Post-CRICO, corporations with legal business charters registered with the state are effectively immune to criminal conspiracy charges, and are instead prosecuted through the trade courts. Some of the more liberal-leaning members of the judicial system have argued that this emboldens certain aggressive corporate behaviors and complicates attempts to prosecute criminal organizations who make some amount of their profits through legally registered and operated businesses. Others point to the relatively higher penalties in the trade courts as sufficient deterrent for criminal activity, on the behalf of either corporate or mafia parties. In criminal courts, sentences for individuals can be as severe as life in prison, but in trade courts, guilty verdicts can result in entire companies being deregistered and all of their assets being acquired by the state. Well, that's fucked up. It means that unless you fuck up enough to where the state can hang you and just take everything you own, they're going to let it slide. That is a hilariously corrupt situation. Users also frequently search for how to avoid Krico charges easy 2086. Prisoner's Dilemma explained. Is it illegal to gather with people? I love Prisoner's Dilemma explained because this is a Prisoner's Dilemma. That's so good. This is a reference to the US law RICO, which was used to take down the mob and now is used to blanketly charge tons of people with nonsense charges to get them to squeal, without the carve-out for corporations that doesn't exist formally. I love that. I love that it's a reference to a real law. Yeah, the game is really well written. He's corrupting the Krico acronym a lot, but his risk assessment isn't misguided. Paperwork brings down more criminal organizations than guns ever will. Give a half-decent accountant one thread to pull on, and they can rip apart the mafia in less than a business day. Hey, what did Creech say? Don't hover. It's only hovering if I'm bothering you. Am I bothering you? If you were bothering me, you'd know it. Are they flirting? RICO is what they used to sue rappers? Interesting. I remember reading about when... Was it 50 Cent and Tupac? No, it was Tupac. Was it when Tupac got charged? It was a while back. I remember reading about that case. Non-binary Farah Rice. You know... I'm blanking. Wait, Farah Rice. I feel bad. I'm the one with the eye. Oh, yeah. Yep. Sure. Young Thug was the big one who just got off because the case was bogus and based on a lot of his lyrics. Okay. I mean, that is a bad reason to prosecute, so I'm not surprised. All right, come here. Pull up a chair. Let me ask you something before we get started. What was your first job? Murder? Waitress? Waitress. You remember this feeling? 9 p.m., diners filtered out, doors close at 10. You all start turning off the grills, taking out the trash, settling down. And then some mouth breather comes in at 9:40 with big blank eyes expecting you to find him a table. Yeah, asshole behavior, not breaking any rules, can't arrest him, can't shoot the guy, even if you wanted to. So, related note, you're here to buy, a paying customer, happy to have you. Just read the room, okay? Sure. And no haggling, no, what are you here for? Well, can't be honest about that. Time to build a story. This Creek seems less high-strung than the others. He must have a few years and a couple promotions under his belt. He might be on the 3rd floor at the moment, but in spirit he's still on the street, earning. Everyone above him is in more managerial positions. He's in between crowds, isolated. And he seemed entertained by my poke at the big guy. Putting that all together, I'm not actually here for myself. Truth is, I can't hear anything over the damn screen. I grab the remote sitting on the edge of the desk and turn off the screen. That's better. The hell did you do that for? It was too loud. We like it loud. Screws with the bugs and wires and cops. Are you a cop? Keeping it at that volume could damage your ears. You'd end up yelling all the time. Relax, relax, Tanks. I read that as Fanks. Like I was saying, I'm actually here for someone else. My boss, to tell you the truth. Heh, that sucks. Does your regional manager want a made-to-order heart attack at his retirement party or something? You're not that far off. His son's turning 18 and he wants a party. An organic party. How's that supposed to mean? Hell if I know. But my coworker let it slip that I smoked a few times in college. So boss goes and hands me his dark card, slaps me on the rear and sends me down here. Told me to get everything his son needs for the best graduation ever. That's rough. A pretty lady like yourself shouldn't be stuck running errands at this hour, not in this part of the city. It's not safe. Speaking of which, Miller, stand up, raise your hand. I oblige, but the lanky one keeps staring at me oddly, looking me up and down. It's not complimentary. He's searching for something. See, normally I would never be this poor of a host to such a nice customer, but... bosses, right? Yeah. Mine have been real micromanaging lately. It's kind of becoming a problem. So, we're taking a little more care around new faces. Tucked inside her jacket, round the left pocket. His eyes aren't modded. Did I give it away with my body language? Something you want to share with the class? Forgot I had that, maybe? Yes, I have a knife on me. Should I have declared that on my papers? Would have been the polite thing to do, yeah? Sorry for the poor manners, but a pretty lady like me, this part of town. Guess I was just being careful around new faces. Alright. You're letting her keep it? I got you here to protect us. Have to wonder, though. Why'd a high-power corporate move shaker come in person? Why come to us? Why not go across the skywalk, over to the nearest Icaria-owned dispensary? Cagey tonight, aren't we, boys? The hell are they so suspicious for? And who are the Icaria? The name sounds vaguely familiar, but... well, I can read between the lines. They're the competition. So if these blue bloods are being this cautious around a paying customer, I can shame them over it. Noun, an international criminal organization known for extorting corporations through shipping ports. The international criminal organization, most commonly known as the Blue Bloods, originated in the early 21st century as an offshoot of Eastern Hemisphere triads that subsumed various dockworker unions. Loosening international corporate regulations and decreasing job opportunities at the time made it difficult for traditional unions to gather and maintain bargaining power. Simultaneously, many triads struggled as increasing nationalism around the globe, combined with improvements in border security, made the profit margins for smuggling smaller and smaller, even as demand for foreign goods went increasingly unmet. Historians and criminologists debate on the exact origin of the Blue Bloods, and even among ex-members, there remains debate about which side approached which, or when the Blue Bloods became a distinct identity. What is agreed upon is that by the mid-21st century, the Blue Bloods were a significant presence in every major trade port around the world, smuggling goods across borders and extorting multinational corporations by threatening to withhold or destroy merchandise as they entered the country. Domestically, the Blue Bloods seem to have given serious consideration toward legitimizing their activities, for a time acquiring legal charter of business for many of their shipping and security operations during the 2050s. Wait. I have a hard time reading what they mean for a time here, but I assume they don't mean legitimizing it for a limited time, but just that they were interested in it for a duration. But I assume it never came to pass. This same time period also saw a cooling of hostilities between the Blue Bloods and many of their rivals, with gang-related violence dropping precipitously, civil disruptions and suspect changes in leadership during the 60s, however, reversed this trend. Suspected changes in leadership during the 60s, however, reversed this trend. While the Blue Bloods remain a major player on the global criminal trafficking market, their status of criminal concern was officially downgraded to moderate by the state during the 2070s. Most criminologists agree that their national presence is now relatively weak and has remained so for long enough that the organization's broader global leadership is likely uninterested in expending the resources it would take to change the status quo. Intriguing. I gotta go bathroom real quick. I gotta pee real quick, but I'll be back in a second. This will be short. BRB. And we're back. Piss gang! Let's go, piss gang! I'm so cozy now. I'm really happy. I don't know why I have so much energy today, but I worked 13 hours and I basically was non-stop the entire time. And somehow I still have a bunch of energy today. Yo, Laria! Nice to see you. Devil gang indeed. Have you played already? Have you finished the episode? Or are you watching me do it? So if these blue bloods are being this cautious around a paying customer, I can shame them over it. I mean, sure, everyone knows the Icaria have taken the lion's share of the city. I beat day 1 and I decided to check Twitch instead of moving on. Awesome! I was afraid that no one would join, so I'm happy that there's been pretty good amount of people here. Pretty good vibes. I have, what's it called? I'm supposed to turn my sleep schedule because I work night tomorrow. So that means I'm gonna go until people leave, basically. Is my idea. Or I get, like, randomly really tired, which I could. You know, crash should happen eventually. I just didn't realize that they had a monopoly too. How many hours in was it for you to beat day 1? So I know that, like, if it's feasible for me to do. Hey, get it straight. The Icaria won't be on top anymore once we... Okay, you're the one we were gonna press for information because you're fucking stupid. Never mind. Can we not do business? No one said that. So what'll it be? Well, I don't want any of these kids choking on their own foam. Even if it'd be funny to watch. I figured I'd just buy a bunch of downers and maybe a handful of uppers. And half of them get high off the atmosphere. Downers, huh? We got the new titration of lime. Lasts for hours. Yeah, they can stir it into their watered down beers. Wait. New titration? No one's gonna shit themselves, are they? No. Not until the morning, at least. Alright, well, I can live with that. What have we got on the other end? Got plenty, long as they don't mind hippos. Hypodermics. I feel like these baby shark types would get nervous around needles. Took me about 2.5 hours of reading, but you can multiply it by streaming reading out loud text. Makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, that'll probably be about 5 hours. Might be a good stopping point for the stream. Unless we stop earlier because people are going to bed or whatever. You got anything they can inhale? Well, got a lot of nerve. Fast bump, high plateau, and a smooth ride down. Our best seller. Sounds great. Unfortunately, it's in high demand, so... Nirvana, drug. Showing results for metahexfenanyl. Metahexfenanyl. I feel like that... Phenylyl. Metahexphenylyl. That's probably how I do that, yeah. Methahexphenylyl is an illegal stimulant sold in black markets as a recreational drug under the street name Nirvana, sometimes shortened to Nerve. When taken as an inhalant, it is a euphorant with mild hallucinogenic properties. In recent months, its growing popularity has led many to suspect that the drug is being assessed for legalization by the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight. The process of considering a drug for legalization is kept strictly confidential in order to prevent rampant speculation in the pharmaceutical market. However, increases in the sales of the precursor chemicals for making metahexphenylyl seems to indicate that producers are anticipating its legalization nonetheless. The relative obscurity of said precursor chemicals has made the uptake particularly noticeable, and supply has not been able to keep up with this elevated demand. Possession, production of, use of, or trafficking in metahexphenylyl is a crime. Even when a drug is legalized, previous violations of narcotic laws are not granted amnesty. Good to know. I get that he's selling me drugs, but does he really have to sell me drugs? This was not referenced in episode 1. This drug. There's different drugs that have been mentioned, but I have a feeling that this is a further build out of the drugs that existed then, but none of the ones they mentioned there, except like downers and uppers, existed. Like the names weren't there. Nirvana wasn't mentioned at any point. I'm like 99% sure. Hey, it's not my card anyway. Charge it. Gladly. Typing away at his tablet like this, he almost looks white collar. It checks out, right? The serial's legit, so... Yeah, man. You already said that. It's encrypted, Trey. It's not meant to be a one-tap purchase. Dark card. The gold standard of untraceable fund transfer among the criminal and financial elite. Your average citizen wouldn't recognize it as anything special. It looks like any other credit or debit card. Only reason I recognized it is because they got flashed all the time back in my apprenticeship. Mostly for drawing lines, but sometimes for purchasing. Yeah, bro, we know you're cool. We know you did coke, bro. Hard to convert the funds back into cash, but if you want to buy or sell on the black market, you couldn't ask for better. So what the hell is going on? I'm dangling some very enticing bait here. An amenable mark, spending money that's not her own. They should be salivating over me. Instead, they're practically X-raying me. Why? Interesting decor. Finally someone notices. It's nice, right? It's called Sherrywood. Redid the paint myself with a finish I had imported. It is a nice piece of furniture, Creek. But I was referring to your paperweight. Hmm? Oh, huh, yeah, that. You like it? I mean, obviously, yeah. Well, maybe he'd respect saying no. I'll say no, actually. I feel like this game, like, personality-wise, I think no is a better answer. I'm just... Depends on what she's trying to do. If she's just trying to get him to start talking, then yes is the answer. But I'm really curious what no gives, so I'm gonna say no. Sorry, can't say that I do. It's a bit martial for my tastes. Have you considered giving it a polish? That'd be a crime. Oh? Polishing off the battle scars from a hard-won prize. Prize? It's not yours? Something I picked up on the job. Hmm? A masculine voice, muffled, possibly gagged, and stifled, as if pained. Seems like I'm not their only guest tonight. Really wish you left the music on, lady. Sorry, you say something? I completely spaced out just now. Didn't hear a word you said. Okay, that's okay. I didn't say anything. Guess you aren't so stupid you can't even mind your own business. You should stop talking, Tanks. I know you're the brawn, but like, are you... Yeah, you are stupid. Speaking of my business, how are we looking? The card's still processing. Sorry about that. Guess it takes time to snake a wire through enough pinholes that even the almighty state can't track it. Takes power too, apparently. Battery's plummeting. But dark card. Almost more trouble than it's worth. Definitely didn't do its previous owner any good. Before I palmed it off his corpse. Your boss must be a careful guy delegating you to come down here like this. Yeah, maybe. Not very smart, though. He has no idea what any of this shit costs. Ah. If I treat myself after I finish here, it's not like he'd ever know the difference. Good on you, ripping off the bastard. A woman after my own heart. There it is. Now, I just need 2 thumbs and a password for verification, and we're golden. There a problem? Yeah, is there a problem? No, no problem. Sorry, it's just something I heard. And what's that? That the Blue Bloods has gotten something special in recently. Can't trust everything you hear out there, or read, or see. No, of course not. But is it true? A no mask? Like the man said, you gotta be careful what stories you listen to. Come on, what could it even cost? A couple thousands? I wouldn't know, I'm no art appraiser. But I do know that it's rare. Fun fact, no means talent, but I don't think that translation does it justice. Less than a dozen people on the planet who can make them. What's so special about it? I mean, them, if they exist, which they, don't. If you want a mask, you've already got one on your shin, lady. State puts up cameras, we put up masks. State adds layered scans, we wear helmets. High-tech climbs higher, low-tech punches lower, back and forth up the escalators. But a no mask's got tech that can't be answered. Scissors sharp enough to cut rock. Anti-facial recognition fractalized active defense. Any camera, scanner, or ad looks at that mask, they'll see a face. Within a face, within a face, within a face, until... Oh yeah, the automated dependent. We already read this. I don't think anything changed here. Search it. Ooh, wait, never mind. There's some new stuff at the end. Abbreviated as AD and referred to in common conversation as ad or ads, automated dependent is a catch-all term encompassing robots, intelligent programs, interactive holograms, and androids. Ads are present both digitally and physically in every industry and nation on the planet, assisting in everything from data management to physical labor. In the mid-21st century, lobbyists pushed through new tax classifications to define intelligent machines that were neither salarized employees nor mere equipment, because it afforded tax breaks and lighter tariffs. The term became so commonly used that it spread to all branches of the robotics industry, from which point it began to penetrate into everyday speech and pop culture. Some sociologists argue that the term owes its popularity not simply to its brevity and prevalence, but to its ability to draw a distinction between the commonplace, robots, androids, smart UI, etc., and the internationally illegal, artificial intelligences. Searching for this term may incur an account flag. Read more about how we cooperate with authorities to combat disinformation here. I don't think that last part about account flag was in the last episode, but I could be wrong. Can I say how tragic it is that these summaries are 10 billion times more useful than the AI summaries we get when we search stuff on Google or whatever? Within a face, within a face, within a face, until fatal error. Forget hiding from cameras, searching for blind spots. With a no mask, you could just walk down the busiest street in the city. No, classical Japanese masked dance drama. No, translated literally as a ability, is a world-renowned form of Japanese dance theater with traditions and codified performances dating back to the 14th century. Strictly regulated by the Iemoto system, in which a single heir inherits all authority, mastery, and secret techniques of their predecessor. No's strict adherence to tradition and seniority have made it difficult for the practice to spread and flourish during the 21st century. Performers wear archetypal costumes and masks that and must convey an emotion through precise movement. Their masks are masterfully crafted such that a single static mask can convey sorrow, fury, joy, or terror by merely angling the head differently. Neat. And brick every camera in a half kilometer. You know your stuff. Buyer beware. Is it wise that we own up to knowing so much? I feel like that makes it obvious that we're lying about our cover or whatever. But if this mask could do half of what you think it could, anyone who got their hands on it wouldn't part with it easily. So, how much? More than you can afford, that's for sure. I don't know about that. I've got pretty nice stock options. Maybe you do have the money. That's not the issue. I can't sell it. It's already been spoken for. End of discussion. Well, sure, you can't sell something that's been spoken for. But things get misplaced all the time. Delivery carriers showing up at the wrong address, missing packages ending up in the backs of storage facilities, merchandise falling off the back of the proverbial truck. You weren't sent here on some errand. Shit. What is it? Take a long look, boys, cause you may never get another chance. We're breathing the same air as a genuine consultant. Oh, the banger kicked in. I fucking love the songs in this game, man. I hope they added a, what's the name of the theme? It's Corner. I hope they added a Corner theme from like Ace Attorney, like one that fills the same purpose. She's some kind of mega meg spy. If I was, I couldn't exactly come out now and say it. Could I? Did you see Lena Raine did some tracks? No, I haven't seen anything new about episode 2, so no, I've listened to all the tracks in episode 1, but I don't know anything, like, specific. So, answer is no. Oh shit! Is it really this easy? Yeah, that's real smart talk. Now give me one reason I shouldn't paint your brains onto the wall. Because I still haven't paid for my purchase. Definitely got the nerves of a consultant. They teach you that at some fancy uptown corpo school? Or was it something you were born with? Something I was born with? Probably. But believe it or not, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Honesty always speeds up the negotiation. So, in the spirit of cooperation, why don't you start being honest too? How's that? You don't want my money, traceable or otherwise. Only reason you'd entertain a customer while in the middle of whatever bottleneck you're keeping behind that door is because I have something rare that you desperately need. Don't assume desperation or need. God, the writing is so good. How about want? You want the dark card account itself, not whatever shitcoin currency it holds. And why is that? I gotta see if I can hide the cursor. Gets annoying when it's on screen. There we go. Capture cursor gone. To steal it from your bosses. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. They're the ones stealing from us. Yes, I'm sure you have very legitimate grounds for a wage theft suit, but I don't care. Whether it's for running away, skirmishing off the top, or just as insurance, you want a wallet they don't have eyes on. And since your tall friend wasn't or hasn't misted me yet, it seems you're willing to barter for it. So, the card for the mask. Not even close. The card plus 2/4 worth of my salary. That's nearly... Nah, sister, you don't have the cash for this purchase. And it ain't the kind of thing you can get a loan from the bank for. I don't like it, but... Not cash then. Might as well try it. What about information instead? I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it would have to be one hell of a piece of intel. I could give you heartbreak. Love that. Love that so much. Really like... I mean, you are in a unique position to do this, Morgan. Go for it, girl. What did she say? Funny. That is funny. Heartbreak. The most famous anarcho-terrorist in the country. At some Meg's beck and call. Upgraded to a narco-terrorist now. Ugh. Lots of people were laughing very hard, having shorted the right stocks before each of his kills. Hold up, seriously? No, why do people buy this conspiracy shit so easily? I don't get the joke. Why would we want heartbreak? To learn from him, make an example of him, hire him. You Blue Bloods have been fighting the Rust, the Ikaria, and the State, and everyone who wants a peace for decades. Yet Heartbreak's gotten more notoriety than all of you combined in only a few months. There's really nothing you'd want to say to him, nothing you'd want to ask him. If he was sitting right in front of you, Okay. Extremely curious fucking start to this case. I'm so down. If this ends up being that we become a contract killer and we kill someone for the mask, I'm so intrigued to see how this all plays out. I don't think that's where it's gonna go, but I wouldn't be, like, negatively predisposed to it. The following scene contains loud noises, flashes of light, depictions of violence and gore. Hell of a bluff, I'll give you that. Thought it was worth a try. Sorry, just procrastinating, having to go back to my superiors empty-handed. Nah, it was good. Good effort. I mean, I'm still interested in the dark card. It's just... that mask is a death sentence, crafted specifically for one very special customer. Which is definitely gonna become relevant in the case later. I can spoil that. I'm just the one given the honor of hanging on to it until... sounds like you've got your own office politics to worry about. Getting pulled in every direction. I know the feeling. Well, that was a bunch of drama for nothing. She gonna buy or what, Creek? Oh, I'm still buying. Not for some kids' party, obviously. Plan is we're gonna spike the competition at this meet and greet, make the customer think they're drooling idiots. The mask was always a long shot. I was just personally curious. Curiosity can get you into trouble, down here at the bottom of the world. Don't worry. I like to think I know a thing or two about discretion. I can see that. Let's wrap this up then. Your password and your thumb, please. Sure. I'll just take off my gloves here. Oh yeah. I make a snap with my right hand as my left extends towards the desk. Viewer discretion advised. Love that emoji. I need to do that emoji. The thumbs up fucking Japanese emojicon. Forget what they're called. They're not emoticons, they're something else. Real quick before I forget. Do you have a bag for all this? Yeah, actually, got a few in this drawer. The hell? Only needed to distract him for a second. Less than one heartbeat. I did tell him to mind the safety. Huh? The big one made a small noise as he looked down to see that his own gun had blown a fist-sized chunk out of his torso. Holy shit! He jumped up fast. I was expecting to blow his head off. From behind, a motion, a shape charting towards me. Spinning left, I draw my knife, exhale, and lower my shoulders. There. A loudly broadcast haymaker swinging in from his right. Bad instinct, he must have gotten used to those sparklers making people flinch. I step in, and his bicep smacks dully onto my shoulder as I place my knife directly into his carotid. Is it cartilage? No, it's not. Carotid. He's gripping that knife with all the strength he has left. Wait, is he really gonna try to pull it out? Someone's been stabbed. What do? When applying first aid to a puncture wound, removing the foreign object is not recommended, as this can greatly increase the rate of blood loss. Another bad instinct. Oxygen cut off to his brain, already losing vision. Red! And dropped with all the grace of a garbage bag hitting the bottom of a dumpster. So that just leaves. Hasn't moved a muscle. Newest member, weakest in the pack. Personally, I wouldn't have given the new guy guard duty, but hindsight's 2020. The gun's double-barreled, 2 shots spent. And Miller still has my knife in a literal death grip. I'll have to improvise for this last one. What the hell? Why not? Oh, shit! Though, come to think of it, how do you use this thing? Aim for the bleachers, I guess. Oh, fuck! Oh, that's so good. The title drop, baby. Does that say... It says something due. Is it Rent due? Episode 2. His due. Yeah, if you're still here... what's it called? Abagam. That's what we said, right? Abagam? Highly recommend you play episode... or the prologue in episode 1 yourself. Before you get spoiled on the rest of this. This is really good stuff, if you're still here. I don't know if you are. Barely got 3 centimeters into his neck. Must have hit a vertebrae and stopped dead. Still, got the job done after a few whacks, but... well, it was my first time with a sword. And I've never been very good at anything the first time. I've always needed lots of practice. Okay, the music should have deadened the sound of the gunfire. That gun was heavily modified. If someone still has its tags, they can't possibly be functioning properly. So I've got a window of opportunity. First things first, gloves back on. Shit! Wow, someone's lively. You who the hell? Some kind of mod keeping him alive? A cruelty, under his circumstances. I could hear that slug tear his insides apart, or intestines in part. The pain alone should have knocked him out cold, yet his fingers are limp, his eyes sharp. Paralyzed? There are rules! I fought! Blood's pooling fast. You've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes for what? Everything. You're no mega assassin. You're too talkative. Who sent you? Fox? Grey Lady? All that red. Should've... You... The Rust's newest... Rabbit Dog? Caribou? It's cute how you all give each other nicknames. You're... civilian? Where's the mask? What? Go to hell! You just looked right at the desk drawer. I thought you said you played poker. Need your keys. A civilian thief? Theft is victimless. It's robbery when violence is involved. So, you're just out of your goddamn mind. I'm the last person you'll ever talk to, Creek. Your choice, but do you really want to be rude? You seem like you can take it. The key clicks into the small safe and I pull up on the door to reveal paperwork. Page after page of spreadsheets and diagrams and text, all printed in red. Is this important? So considerate. Nah, just throw it anywhere. Okay. I was joking! 3 minutes now. Sarcasm will cost you time you don't have. There it is, a gleaming darkness at the back of the safe. So that's it. You. All this. All of us. For that? Just for that? I get asked that question a lot. Would you feel better if I had killed you for a different reason? If I had a good reason for blowing a hole in your stomach? Would it hurt any less? You still got more than 2 minutes, plenty of time. I could spin up whatever fairy tale you'd like to put you to bed. I bring the mask to my face, and for a brief moment the surface seems to writhe. Is it trying to adjust itself to me? I suppose it makes sense, you wanting a mask so bad. If I was as hideous as you are on the inside, I wouldn't want to go barefaced either. Hit a nerve? Must be the worst kind of feeling, being seen. Seen by someone you can't even hurt anymore. Well, I see you. Heartbreak. Yeah, big bad faceless heartbreak. I'm just a dumbass punk, but even I could make you out from... Don't flatter yourself. It's not that you're particularly perceptive. I just don't have anything to hide when a corpse is talking. First honest thing you've said. So what gives, HBK? You're clearly not an idealist. All the terrorism, rebellion theories out the window. You go around killing cause your daddy smack you around. Your mommy not hug you enough. My father never laid a hand on me. My mother hugged me. A sufficient amount. So what the hell's your excuse? I don't make excuses. Then what the hell is wrong with you? Less than a minute now. I could spend that time making up a diagnosis if you'd like. Or would you prefer I just come over there and squeeze? How many? Another question straight out of the greatest hits. How can I put this? How many times have you eaten bread? Never. Got a gluten thing, bitch. Whatever, point is, I am not a collector. This is not my hobby. I do not keep count. There is no code. I do what I want as often as I want to. Do what thou wilt. A whole of the law. Is that it? Don't know what you're referencing, but from where you're sitting, do I really look like the law-abiding type? I bring the mask back down to my face and feel it briefly writhe. Forget it. Lest I know you deserve what's coming. I've heard a lot of empty threats in people's last moments creak. They're never that memorable. Told you that mask was a death sentence, that it was spoken for. They called in a huntsman from overseas. Home turf. Huntsmen can become anyone, go anywhere, out, kill anything. Supposed to come over and slaughter the rust. That mask was part of his payment. He'll be looking for it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. What the hell's that supposed to mean? Finders, keepers. Forget it. I don't need to scare you. Huntsman, hunter, too much meaning lost. Always thought better translation was pelt taker. He'll find you, flay you alive, wear your skin, then go and murder everyone you've ever... She laughs. What a face! Should have taken you up on dipping out early. Anything to beat dying, staring at a face like that. That's a JoJo's reference. You're referring to the... oh, it's gone now, I think. Do what thou wilt, whole of the law. Is that it? Is it part 5? I think it's part 5, right? Or the bread line. The bread line. Oh, is it? It's part 5, right? Or is it in Stone Ocean? I haven't finished reading. All right, that's a lie. I read Stone Ocean very, very long time ago. I don't feel like I remember enough, so I'm rereading it. From part 1? Oh, yeah, it's Zeppeli. It's Zeppeli when he's going through the wait, no, it's not. Is it Zeppeli? No, Zeppeli is the... Yeah, it's Speedwagon and Zeppeli. Yeah, so when Zeppeli is going through the no, yeah, isn't it when he's explaining the I know the name of the power system in part 1. The name of the power system in part 1 is Hamon. Yeah, Hamon. Thank you for the compliment on the voice performance. I don't know why, but in this game really makes me want to try. I'm not very good at it yet, but it makes me want to give it a honest try, honest effort. As best I can. So, a huntsman coming to get me. Nah, the dead and the dying make for strong bluffers. And I've seen more than a few of them try their hand at improv. Time to move. I need to scuff things up a little bit more. Make this look more like an orca shootout than... well, a visit from me. Weapons are inherently disposable. I can kill with anything. So I'd never bother to retrieve one from a dead man's grip. I feel like maybe the last guy could defend themselves against you if you weren't used to a sword, but you know, point taken. You're no master at every weapon type though, that's for sure. But... I might have need for a knife again, shortly. So I'll be taking this back, Miller. I had to pry. Why is it that the dead are always grasping? The sword was not worth the effort. Lesson learned, but now I have to remove it for the next part. His eyes. Can't tell the model from the outside, but I can make a strong educated guess at the price range. If they back up any data, it can't be more often than once an hour. It'll be 10 o'clock soon. I'm gonna need something with some heft to it. See no evil. I love referencing that. Well, the bat's definitely spent, but his eyes are no longer a problem. And the sword is fine where it is. I was watching Gnosia with friends recently, the anime, and it actually has one of my favorite kills of any like series I think I've ever seen. Not because it's particularly well animated, but because it's I won't say it's out of left field either. It sort of is. Framing wise, it's not framed at all in a way that would lead the action to think that it's going to be a kill. But a character is out of frame, locked in a like pod, and the and you're getting a side view, so you don't get to see the character. You just see the side of the pod, right? And the murderer is threatening someone else in the foreground of the shot. And instead of attacking the person in the foreground, they just fucking stab the skull of the person in the pod, and blood splatters out like immediately. And it's just so well done. And the see no evil, bash out the eyes, or like, well, the graphic there was bashing the eyes or stabbing it or whatever, but probably in practice I assume we just took it out. Reminded me of it, and I really, really liked that like visual storytelling. This game is really strong visual storytelling in general. I'm always impressed. Not gonna tempt fate and risk nicking myself with it. That's all the burning issues addressed. Time to take care of the shores. I had to remove my gloves to convince them I could use the dark card. That means I handled all the murder weapons with my bare hands. Obviously, I'll need to wipe my prints off this gun and my knife. But I put my gloves on before opening Creek's safe and cracking Trey's skull. So what does that leave? Focus, no mistakes. Interesting. This is the remote that I used to distract the big guy. I need to wipe my prints off it, of course, but should I turn the music back off? No, it was playing when I first walked in. Best to preserve continuity. And besides, what was it he said? We like it loud, screws with the bugs. He's right about that much. A little smoke screen never hurts. The sword. I gripped the handle with both hands when I brought it down on his neck. Thinking back, I dragged the tip across the floor, didn't I? Shit, probably got Miller's blood on it. That's sloppy. And stupid. Where the hell did I? Yeah, you got possessed by the, like, cool cinematography katana demon. That's been in, like, too many movies. So you had to do it for the effect. No, forget it. There's nothing I can do about it anyway. Fingerprints can be wiped, but there's no cleaning agent on Earth that can hide blood from a modern forensics team. And I'm not looking to do an encore performance of my reaction to those goddamn fickle bobbies. She was too busy aura farming? Exactly. Gig aura farming. The dark card played its role as bait perfectly, even if it's the reason I'm having to go around wiping off prints. I'll never be able to pull funds off it, but I might be able to use it again if... it's stuck. Creek must have dropped it harder than I realized. Getting shot in the stomach doesn't help with handling delicate electronics. No way I'm gonna risk taking the whole reader with me. Could have any number of pings and strings leading back to the manufacturer or even the Blue Bloods themselves. No, I'll wipe the dark card off and then set the whole reader back on the desk. For all anyone knows, Creek's pod mugged it off some slumber and we're trying in vain to get beer money off of it. You know what I'm wondering? Who the fuck were we talking to before we started this? I'm really intrigued because they seemed in on this plan. So I'm very curious what's going on here. Also, where is Sarah? What is Sarah doing? And is she aware about our killing, like, proclivities? Given that she wasn't by the end of episode 1. Right, the keys I took off him to open the safe. The Blue Bloods are going to find out I took the mask eventually, but I see no reason to give them any hints. And on the off chance the police get here first, I'd rather they not investigate this as a robbery. All that's to say, you can have these back, Creek. So that's all. Because I can't... Yeah, there's nothing else on the auto thing. So unless they fuck with you and they force you to search manually, which would be really poor UX, and I would be very surprised that that was the case. That means that we're doing advanced now. Progress is B. I can't exactly spend all night on this. Am I good here? What else is there? Okay, so I can think again. I mean, autofind doesn't find anything. I'm going to assume that it's not gonna be some bullshit, so let's just progress. Yeah, okay. This feels like the scene's been set. It's a strange sensation, erasing your own presence. A sense of supremely private accomplishment. Like placing the last piece into a milk-white jigsaw puzzle. And then throwing it in the trash. It's not unpleasant, but I can't linger here any longer to savor it. Time to draw this to a close. Thank God for the mask. I can still tell it smells god-awful in here, but it's bearable. Rehydrated sweat and vomit, scents full of adrenaline and sickly heat. My initial guess is that the mask I don't know if we knew about from the start. I thought we were here for the prisoner before the mask popped up, because the prisoner was mentioned, or like made a noise before the mask was ever mentioned. So when the mask got mentioned, I was like, okay, I don't know, it's like a 50-50 on which one we were here for, but I'm gonna assume it was the prisoner here. Or it's the mask and, you know, we're just here to kill this guy. But I feel like that would be less interesting, so let's see what this is. Unfiltered, I'd be at risk of getting sick. If it weren't for all the blood. Right. What to do with you? Blindfolded, gagged, hands bound above him with plastic ties and linen wrappings. Beaten, bloody, and... He looks like... He has the same hair as a Bleach character, a dogshit one unfortunately. Has the power to change the weight of things, or double the weight of things rather. Garbage character, but that's not what I'm thinking of. He has the same hair color as Sarah, right? Which I find intriguing. Interesting. Drugged? These syringes. They wanted him to stay conscious. Not very popular, are you? Still, you're not dead. First thing I thought when I saw him was that David Dasher was back. I really don't think that'll happen like this. However, there were multiple AIs of the same ilk as Sarah by the end of it, right? I forget if we... Didn't we let them out onto the wider, like, internet by the end of it? I was fairly sure we did. I wonder if this is like a body or one of them, maybe. It seems like some time has passed since the events of episode 1, but we'll see. Yeah, Asher did have green hair, but it doesn't fit the profile at all. And with these kinds of injuries, you won't die soon. Not without a push. That might be the most charitable thing to do under these circumstances. He must have wished for death at least once during all this torture. Too bad. The bat that barred this door is now in splinters. Anyone walking in after me won't realize that this room was locked from the outside. If this captive had somehow gotten his hands on a blade, there'd be nothing stopping him from stepping out of here and butchering his captors. The Blue Bloods will want someone to blame for the deaths of 4 of their men. And unlike the police, they won't bother arresting an innocent man and putting him up on trial for the world to see. They'll wrap things up for me. Whoa, hold that for me. As for the gun... What's with the... All I did was tuck the gun into your waistband, pal. Oh. Okay. I can see how that would be distressing under the circumstances. Well, you can relax about that. It's not loaded. A few minutes from now, you're gonna wish it was. Out again already? Rest up while you can. When you wake up, you'll want to start running. Convenient. So we were only there for the mask. I feel like that's surprising. That guy, I feel like, is gonna come back in some fashion. Or that was just a clean kill, which is unbelievable in these games. It's never a clean kill like this. I mean, we do have the Giga investigator on our case, so maybe she'll just perfectly be like, oh yeah, Heartbreak planted these and got this other guy to run away with the evidence. So exactly like Heartbreak. That fits the modus operandi perfectly. I knew Heartbreak would come back eventually. Also, hello, best girl. I'm so happy you're here, Sarah. I missed you. Best character. The fact that I remember like everything about Sarah and Morgan to a T is such a good like sign of strong character. When did we play the last episode? Let me open YouTube really quick and check the VOD date of the upload, because I uploaded it, I believe, like at the same time. Switch account, VOD channel, view your channel. It's like the first things we uploaded. It's been 4 months ago. 4 months, and I feel like I remember everything about the character and like have a really strong impression. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It's really funny how they've re-indexed how views are counted on YouTube, because when I uploaded the VODs, they got like 12, 13, 15 views, but they've been re-indexed down to like 1, 4, 3, 0, 1, because they stopped counting ad-blocked views, I believe. So desktop views don't count, and I believe everyone who watched was on desktop. So it's really funny how the number basically fluctuated so dramatically. But yeah, it's crazy that that it's been that long and I remember it so well. Like I practiced. Irashai. Oh my god. You know, as someone who studied a bit of Japanese, I can't be too mad. Bar Kintsugi, afternoon. Bar Kintsugi? That's a fun name. That's a fun name for a bar. Irashai. Do you know what Irashai means? It's welcome back in Japanese. It's a ceremonial phrase for when someone goes back home. It's like welcome home, but their canned phrase for it, right? They have a bunch of those. Usually sometimes followed with a honorific, like or there's the full one. Irashai is the shortened version. The full one is Irashaimase, which I believe is welcome or please come in, but it's used for welcome back as well. I think that's even the primary. No, I'm silly. Irashai is welcome back. Irashaimase is more like welcome in, like it's someone else, not like a family member or something. You're like greeting someone. Welcome to this establishment. Can I get the log button? Hello? Game? Give me the log. I pressed like a bunch of buttons on my... Oh. That hides the thing. That makes sense. Pardon? Hello, Diamani. You are, like, really hot, I gotta say. Keep working on it, kid. Bar Kintsugi. Oh, it's Dojima! Oh, nice. It's Persona, baby. We did it. This is Persona 4. No. Persona 5, baby. Wait, no. Dojima is Persona 5. Who am I thinking of in Persona 4? It also starts with a D, I believe. Whatever, it's fine. Didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of training your new employee. How's it working out? Ah, she's... It is she, right? Never worked this close with an ad before. She is unbearably forgiving, so I doubt you'll get sued. She's fine, good at cleaning, precise with her mixing, knows a hell of a lot of trivia. Popular with the younger crowd, I think. Is this the place with the Android bartender? They talked like I installed a new karaoke machine. I love that it's just like a weapon of mass destruction that could probably unironically take down the entire world because she has so much fucking programming knowledge and so many keys, access to so many places that, like, I'd be really surprised if she couldn't take down the internet at the very least, and thereby also like all the ads and everything that runs on it. Anything that's not localized. And then also lift like 3 tons or whatever it was. It's a large ass number. I didn't know you had a younger crowd. Funny. What's that make you, grandma? More of a learning curve to her than I was expecting. You sheep out on her base installs? It's like I have to teach her everything. Trust me, there's nothing sheep about Sarah. Yay! Yay! She even has the pose! I love it. God, she's so fucking cute. August 29th. Height 160 centimeters. Weight 199.99 kilograms. Blood types UAD. Occupation paralegal apprentice at Kintsugi. Likes split field diopter. Let me Google that really quick, just in case that's not a bullshit thing, but I believe it is. That sounds like a made up term. Split field diopter. Oh, it is a thing. What the fuck? Huh? Split diopters are an incredible tool that help you enhance depth of field. They allow for more of the scene to be in total focus simultaneously. These diopters are semi-circular pieces of glass that are mounted in ring form. They can be rotated in a matte box to achieve the desired effect. It's like a camera thing, and the first listing I found goes for $500, so they're evidently pretty expensive. Wing Shun folding clothes. Dislikes mops, fire alarms, variety packs. Useless talent. I can do a full split, but that is not useless. Favorite quote? As you think, so shall you become. Confession? I tried to use Adonai's makeup and broke a lipstick. Aww. Trust me, there's nothing sheep about Sarah. But yes, she can take a minute when learning the ropes. Grin and bear it a little while longer. Once she does find her footing, she'll have you worried about your job security in no time. Keep it up. I didn't have to do you the favor of hiring her, you know? Favor? Plenty of people out there who would kill to work at an up-and-coming bespoke establishment like Bar Kintsugi. I think I hear them pounding on the door now. Technically, legally, you didn't hire anyone. I generously agreed to loan you my Android during the hours when I have no use for it. These kinds of arrangements aren't uncommon. Androids can, in theory, work 24 hours a day, indefinitely, but their users can't. I really like this type of shot. I wish they did these in episode 1 more. They maybe did it once or twice, but I feel like they've already done it more than they did in the entire first episode. It's a really clean way of conveying like a tone, and it breaks up the pacing in an extremely good way. It's just like one more thing where I'm like, yeah, this is a tool at your disposal to make it feel fresh. Parents come home from work, people go to sleep, staff takes holidays, offices close for the night. The end result of all that slack is that a lot of androids spend a good portion of their operating time waiting around. It's a benefit and a curse. I hope they eventually, if they like get a clear quality increase each episode, end up going back and remastering the early ones if the quality ends up like escalating significantly each episode. That's always a bit jarring when that happens. Even though I think episode 1 and 2 are, episode 0 and 1 are pretty good. So the more enterprising owners loan them out during that downtime, ideally to businesses with complementary working hours. There are plenty of apps and HR software to help arrange it all, but Sarah's apprenticeship wasn't that on the books. After the fallout around David's death settled down, I came to realize exactly how shortchanged I was in our paralegal agreement. She's handy for research and rote work, of course, but she barely sleeps, rarely eats, finishes paperwork at lightning speed. I was spending more time finding shit to keep her busy than I was actually working. And of course, I value my alone time. For what it's worth, they've been doing like UI control fixes to the whole series, so I'd imagine patches like that aren't out of the question. I'm happy, because I don't think they have to fix a lot. It's more like, the more... There's definitely segments where you can shift it from a regular dialogue box with green introspective dialogue to a different one that's out here to improve the pacing slightly, you know, stuff like that. Maybe restructure some early parts once you feel like you got the whole package out, but it's not something I would want to do continually. It's something I would probably want to do in like a final package when you release the entire game with all the episodes. And of course, I value my alone time. It was on one of those long walks of mine that I recalled Reynard was having trouble getting this bar up and running. The long walks to me mean murder. Have you watched Hellsing Ultimate Abridged? Or the original one, either actually. I love that Alucard just goes on like a walk and just ends up running into vampires. They play that up for jokes in the Abridged series in a really funny way, where it's like, I wanna go on a walk. And it's like, no, you can't go on a walk. Whatever you do, don't let him go on a walk. He said he went on a walk, but no! He's gonna kill everyone! He's gonna fuck everything up! Takes a village to keep the world's most advanced android busy. Yeah, lone, whatever. Sarah's the one who clocks in and clocks out, does the work, cleans the bathrooms. She's the employee. If she was an if she was an employee, you'd have to cover her benefits. Not in my current income bracket. I checked 3 times. Wait, you're not taking her paycheck, are you? It's not a paycheck. Don't lawyer me on this shit. Sarah can't earn a paycheck. Pain check. She can't earn a paycheck. I gotta be real. It definitely is a pain check. Any employed people out there? Hands up if you feel like it's a pain check instead of a paycheck. She's not a person. If she walks like a person and talks like a person and works like a person, the Supreme Court disagrees by 13-0. Yeah, well, Supreme Courts have been wrong about that kind of thing before, haven't they? Do I hear a touche? Sarah, tell boss here what you spend your salary on. Reynard Boss Diamani. Okay, Diamani is a baller ass name. He sounds like either a brand for cologne, or rather like perfume, or high end like wine or vodka. Probably like vodka. This is OTD 2.0. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. June 15th. Height 184 centimeters, weight 85 kilograms. Dang, he's actually kind of ripped for that height, I think, right? I'm 179 and I am 76 right now with a decent bit of muscle. I'm 76, almost 77. He looks like he doesn't look like there's any fat on his body, so that's he probably has like 9 kilos of raw muscle or some shit. It's pretty fucking good. Occupation, owner operator, Kintsugi. Likes libraries, boating, fast learners. Dislikes marketing, solicitors, signing things. Collects ancient coins. The coins. Pet peeve, web pages that take too long to load. Okay, he's my favorite character in the game so far. Don't mention. Speed at which Kintsugi site loads. Oh my god. Oh, you become what you swore to destroy. Nice. Good bug. I have started purchasing cases of wine. What? Wait, that's what those deliveries were? As the wine appreciates, its resale value will increase, especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Okay, this is where I got to, so I'm off. Good night, chat. Night, chat. I'll see you, Sandy. Goodbye. I'll probably play until end of day 1, I think. So however long that is. You don't have to say how long it is, Laria. We'll be fine. Since I don't have a bank account, especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Since I don't have a bank account, I can't earn interest in the traditional sense, but if I stay up to date on the sommelier reviews, so you'll resell the wine at a profit, and while you do with that money. God, she's so cute without the fur coat on. She's even cuter somehow. Stop it, you're making her depressed. I did also purchase a cache of sheet music. What? What for? Practice. You're muttering. Forget it, none of my business. She's hella cute. I'm happy with the new design, that's sick. Speaking of business, the place isn't exactly packed. Well, are you volunteering to help with that? There are lawyer bars, right? Right? Where all the lawyers go after trials. Kintsugi could be a lawyer bar. Yeah, those lawyer bars are usually close to the courthouse, though. Just don't. Everything's signed and paid. I can't think about what ifs on location anymore. This is the spot those available, and I need a soda of water with all the stress on my stomach. Sarah? Tend bar. Ahem. What are you buying, stranger? What was that? Boss has been teaching me his barside manners. He says that his clientele expects a certain degree of maturity when they come here. And so you're using a deeper voice? Is it not working? Please let me know when you're ready to order. It's a lucky cat. Yeah. Did you say something? Or did you say something, Adonai? No. I suddenly got the strong impression that there was something you wanted to say. Don't know what you're talking about. As you say. Nya. Nyaruhodo. One of my favorite characters. Wait, what's the... It's... No, it's... Oh yeah, it's Neko Arc. Neko Arc and Neko Chaos. This unlocks something in the shop. Nice. Oh wait, in the phone shop? Morgan Time Charm. Oh, that's sick. Fran Charm. Fidget to be pink. Well, I don't... Oh, yeah. Let's go, Sarah. Sato stuck. Emma deep in thought. That's the one I have now. I like that one. Oh, I have a bunch of store credit. Nice. Earned for clearing episode 1 on High Road. Yo! That's sick. Can I get that in HD, please? Sorry, I don't want to goon, but that I want to see that. That's legitimately like a sick outfit. Necomorg. What? It is a... Yo! Okay, that's so perfect! Naruhodo? Yeah. Sick. I mean, oh, it bugged out. I prefer Necomorg. We're doing Necomorg. Thank you so much for telling me. Rain must have searched for months to find affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded. Or already filled to the brim with server farms. Putting Sarah on cleaning duty was a good call. If any of the tiling in here starts to grime up, could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. Heyo Pip. I see this is still the average Degen stream as usual. I don't know, I actually don't know what you're talking about with Degen stream. Is it because you came here right when I got a pinup girl? Wait. For the kitty? There's nothing degenerate about a Nekor character. There is something degenerate about this though. But you know what this is. You were here for the first one. I can tell you, Kirby, since you just joined, we've already at the start of episode 2 killed 3 people. So our kill count has gone from 1 to 4 in about, well, 3 hours or so. So, yeah, interesting start to the episode. I actually don't know what you're talking about. Wait, weren't you here? Were you not here for... Did you join with The Last Sovereign? I thought you were here for Of the Devil episode 1. Maybe you weren't. Maybe I'm trolling. I was. I'm just tired. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the... I've been here since a minute. That's what I thought. But yeah, I'm saying that you didn't skip those, is what I mean. You've been here to for everything. I don't think you've skipped any... You were here for the Silksong stuff as well, so... That's what I'm saying, that I was surprised. But yeah, our kill count is up a bunch. And it happened at the start of this episode, so, you know, fun VOD to watch. But it's been a really good vibe. No, you were here for Silksong for a little bit. If any of the tiling in here starts to grime up, could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. It's a well-stocked bar, got tea and coffee too, if that's what you're into. Nice ambiance, soft lighting, warm on a chill night and cool on a hot day. For 30 minutes total, that counted, I saw you around. You were there more than most people. Now all that's left to do is wait for the customers to stream in. Any day now. Did someone leave this behind after their lunch break? Could be trouble if they left anything work-related on here. I'll help them out by throwing it in the trash after I'm done reading. Sirius debuts new fuel, named in new lawsuit. Last month, Dr. Sirius made waves in the scientific community for the dozenth time in their storied career when they announced that they had patented the process for distilling a new helium-based fuel, one intended to replace hydrogen in combustion engines, ranging from personal vehicles to full-size freighters. Only a few days later, they made headlines again when that patent was leaked to the global net. Now, Proteca, an investment firm and longtime financial backer of Dr. Sirius, has filed a lawsuit alleging not only that Dr. Sirius failed in their responsibilities to protect their investment, but actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them to respond to the suit's allegation and to question them about their recurring legal woes. Also, wait, why is this on this side now? Previously, these have been on on the opposite side. Why are they on this side now? We just rushed a 70-hour project for the last 12 hours, so I'm quite out of it. Oof. Yeah, I had a 13-hour workday today as well, where I've been essentially on deck working non-stop for 9 of them, I want to say, which is way more than usual. So I feel you, but somehow I'm not that tired compared to normal, which is really weird, because I definitely have worked harder than normal. But actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them to respond to the suit's allegation and to question them about their recurring legal woes. For those who may not be familiar, what makes your process for distilling helium fuel so valuable? In this world, if you're not plugged into an outlet, you're running on a battery, or you're burning fuel. Batteries are useful, but they scale poorly. A battery-powered phone is light enough to be weightless in your pocket. A battery-powered plane couldn't generate enough lift to get off the ground. Now, aside from the number of closely guarded national reserves, there are no fossil fuels left. The wells were pumped dry years ago, so after we were forced to adapt in a rather abrupt period of growing pains, hydrogen has become the global standard for fueling long-distance machinery. Therein lies the problem. The plane I took to get here runs on hydrogen. It produces nothing but water vapor. What's the problem? The problem is the laborers fueling your plane before it took off had their fingers crossed the entire time, afraid that if the absolute grounding field failed, one static spark could blow up the whole airport. What makes helium superior? The helium-2 fuel we've developed is not pure helium, to be clear, but near enough. Unlike hydrogen fuels, what we've created is non-combustible. You could fire a flamethrower over a tank of it and remain perfectly safe. How does a non-combustible fuel power combustion engines? He2 is non-combustible, but in the presence of our specialized catalyst, it can be ignited to generate force comparable to, or in some tests, superior to the horsepower exhibited by hydrogen engines. What's the catch? So far, it's expensive to distill, and the catalyst materials are even more expensive to produce. We have yet to even simulate a profitable commercial flight, for example. That's a pretty serious catch. Steel wasn't profitable before the Bessemer process. Things panned out for the steel tycoons just fine. Are you hoping for someone else to do that, improve upon your process? I know where you're going with this, but the answer is yes, of course. I'd be overjoyed for someone to improve upon what we built. That's essentially what ProTech has accused you of doing, isn't it? Leaking your data intentionally so that others around the world are free to start experimenting with it. I don't think it's legally wise of me to try and summarize ProTech's lawsuit against me in my laboratory. Listen, energy is limitless. It cannot be expended. By that virtue, there cannot be a scarcity of it. You will never have a monopoly of it. And since it is infinite, the correct market price for it will, over a long enough timescale, trend to zero. I don't think I'm being cynical when I say there are people who don't like that very basic math. I'm going to stop you there because you're getting into our next topic, your politics. Do you consider yourself a political person? No. Are you or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? No. Do you believe science should be apolitical? Yes. So why is it that you are so frequently invoked as an example of the liberal bias in the sciences? Science is not political. Science is progress, moving forward, learning more about our universe, deepening our understanding of its mechanics, and that process will never be conservative. Science doesn't move backwards. Calling all conservatives backwards is not what I said, but you're free to interpret it as you like. What's not open to debate is this: what makes something science has nothing to do with who works on it. It has nothing to do with class or power or money or even majority rule. Science is reproducible. No miracles occurred. No miracles required. Miracles are prohibited. If one person can do it, anyone can do it. And so science is inherently egalitarian. If someone feels that, because of that, science has a bias against them, then that speaks only to their own politics, and not the failings of the scientific community to log into your Review Plus account with your passkey or net provider to finish reading this article and see so much more. Okay, so it's obviously combustible after a transformation. It might not be combustible in the state that it's stored in, but they have to do something to make it combustible in the engine, which might come up later. Wow, they would love Beatrice. Yup. Wait, why did... Bad sign that it pops up here. Actually, no, it's not. It's the article, not evidence. I thought it came in evidence, but it came in article. That makes sense. For a pop-sci figurehead, Sirius sure keeps busy. Guess I don't have any evidence proving they aren't legitimately brilliant. But I can't take seriously anyone who guest stars on TV that much. Can't deny they seem to be making progress with new kinds of... I mean... It's a fuel for the combustion engine. Renewable energy is technically incorrect, right? Yeah, helium-based fuel. New fuels. Some of the only new fuels we've seen in decades. Could be decades longer before it's actually practical, but any new fuel has to be less volatile than hydrogen. Please don't throw that datapad out, its owner might come back. Yeah, we know what a datapad is. Today, datapads are a mainstay of high-traffic public spaces and virtual physical hybrid workplaces, despite remaining unpopular with most environmentalists and bibliophiles. Perish the thoughts. The thought. Though now that you've planted the idea into my head. Well, there's a reason we make helium bombs. Oh no, sorry, not helium, hydrogen. Sorry. You're right, helium is not that. Don't we have a finite amount of helium? We recently excavated new helium, or we found a new helium vein, or like mine, like literally a month ago, but I've heard that the amount of helium we have left on Earth is not quite that high. No, you're right. Hydrogen is different. Sorry, I'm blanking. A self-fulfilling prophecy. I think I'm ready to order. Of course. Nah, I'll take this. Sarah, go wipe the tables for a bit. No one has sat at them since I last cleaned them. Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee. Understood. What's got you so tense? Take a wild guess. Did Sarah ask for a raise? Be serious, Red. God, now I can't help but think about this guy as MBT. What happened last night? Your information was accurate, for the most part. A pod of mid-level blue bloods had it. Seems like they were told to sit on it. And were they willing to sell? Nope. Laughed at my price, called me a spoiled Megan, kicked my butt out of the door. They weren't curious where you got your information from? Honestly, no. They rushed me out of there pretty fast once they heard my offer. Were they expecting more company? I got the impression they had work to get back to. The hydrogen bombs is just a way to make a very big bomb since you're using tritium, and deuterium to do more fusion. Fair enough. I wasn't aware that hydrogen wasn't like the principal component in that, but that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know why I was thinking helium for a hydrogen bomb, but yeah, helium is a limited resource on Earth. Those are the isotopes of hydrogen? Ah, yeah, unstable. I do not know my physics or my chemistry off the back of my hand. I don't have the table in my head anymore. I only have a few very common things. Definitely no isotypes. Were they expecting more company? I get the impression they had work to get back to. Okay. Anything else I should know? No. Or no. Anything you want to ask me? How did you two meet? The tables. On my second day, you told me not to over-polish them in order to keep things lo-fi. Is it that inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss, but Adonai didn't move here until she started her apprenticeship at Masters and... If you're gonna tell people my whole life story at every possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead. How we met? Huh? Well, that story's not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut to the heart of our relationship, Sarah. I pay Reynard a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get into high-stakes poker games. It's not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed? It's not illegal to gamble. I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fees for one of these anonymous, masked ball, cold vibe, blimp casinos the rich go to, I count on your boss here to find me tables to play at. Guilty. So you travel to the lower wards to gamble illegally? Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out at such odd hours without so much as your phone. You gonna turn me in? I guessed. Ira shy or some more firm. Two firm-looking men in finely pressed black suits with shades tinted so dark they must need modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the subtle color palette, they stand out. It's hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin on them. Matching pins. Suit noir. Suit noir. Shade slick. More emphasis on the raw. Oh, thank you. Think I just heard the delivery drones bumping around outside, Sarah. Would you check out the back? Your vintages might have arrived. Go on. Please excuse me then. Afternoon then, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Mr. Diamani? Why is she doing a Japanese thing? The bar is called Kintsugi, and she is learning, like... she learned a greeting from this guy, the Amani guy, who I guess has some Japanese background. Pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment. Also, she seems useful to have around for the Mafia. Diamani doesn't know about her powers at all. He thinks she's a unique, but not like quite as unique as we think or we know Ad. So I assume because of that, he doesn't want her to come at risk. That explains why Yakuza he is here. The Yakuza is here because we murdered 3 people and stole a mask that is apparently worth more than our entire net worth. The mask apparently destroys all surveillance that like looks upon it. Any surveillance that like goes on it will like error out and, you know, eventually crash. Oh, you mean the theming like Japanese? Yeah, makes sense. No trouble at all. Still getting the place cleaned up. I'm awfully embarrassed that I failed to realize the property lay within your borders. If you'd come with me to the back, I'd be happy to settle whatever debt. Oh yeah, in the conversation here, Morgan lied and said that they didn't want to give us the mask and then kicked us out. But what happened was they didn't want to give us the mask and we killed them all. We look like petty landlords to you. If you owed us tribute, you'd know it by now. My mistake. Well, if you're here for information, I'll gladly wheel and deal. How about you? We're not here to shop either. We're here looking for Morgan. Well? That name ring any bells, Mr. Diamani? Eto ble. Yup. I mean, Sometimes you just gotta kill like a bunch of people in cold blood. It's just like a pastime. People have gotta have hobbies. You can't judge them, okay? Right. Listen, boys, I'm not sure. Sorry. Had something blaring in my earbud. I'm a Morgan, Esquire, specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. Can I recommend some good workplace attorneys? I've got a business card somewhere. We're not interested in that. Of course not. Well, I'm flattered that you'd come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set up something for... You need to come with us now, ma'am. Hey, I thought you said there was nothing I need to know. Business day is over for me, gentlemen. Can this matter wait until tomorrow? Does it look like it can wait? Great manners, this one. Time sensitive, then. My rate will have to reflect that. Send us the bill. We can afford it. Music to any lawyer's ears. So, who is we, then? You think you're funny? Compared to you, Morgan, these fine gentlemen are from House Icaria. I keep giving them a non-Japanese pronunciation, I don't know why. It's because I read it as like Icarus first. I don't know why. I'm familiar. You are? I've seen their name in the papers. Plastering the name all over uptown, opera houses, and homes for the sick or whatever. Do I get points for this because I read the newspaper? This is a new text color, but it matches the like important segments of the stuff you read, so I wonder if I get points for that. Though I didn't recognize that name when those blue bloods were cursing it last night, so maybe that propaganda's working. Doesn't matter how generous they are at galas, they're still the richest and most powerful criminal organization in the city. Rich and powerful? Why bother with the criminal qualifier? Ahem. Sorry, might I ask about the nature of this engagement? The situation is developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience. That's not what you want to hear. So I gathered. Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am. Very Yakuza. For business or... Vicaria are always business. Shall we get you your coat? Such gentlemen knew those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though. Adonai? What's going on? Are you going somewhere? That's why they pay me the big bucks. These men are very athletic. Perhaps I should come with you. If they want to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know. Call me when you get there, yeah? If I'm actually in danger, I won't even be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Bam, knocked out. Bam, dead immediately. Boss? Who were those men, really? New clients for Morgan, really? Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully. Because if House Icaria puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like. But what do you mean by... But what do you mean by house? Alright, pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, might as well try to teach. Start with eyes. And that's where my story ends? Exactly. You want a lot of it, but low surface area, so never use crushed, or okay? Starts to melt into the liquor, waters the whole thing down. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka, and what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness? Correct, it's the mark of quality, making the bitter go down easy. So the nobility, you know what that is? Historically, the ruling class is enforced through economic or military might and maintained by familial relations. Juice of a full lime. Look for a little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Nobility, old money is another word for it, and the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you could accrue in one lifetime, collecting from serfs and selling horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, showing the world what real wealth acquisition looks like. Not true, by the way. The richest person ever alive was before the Industrial Revolution, funnily enough, or hypothesized to be the richest man alive through history. Then you get new money, which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other. Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition, join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand. That's alright, you shouldn't need to know. But what do you mean your family was new money? Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people, they were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone else was panic selling off everything they could to buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying, for pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel from that lime, as shallow as possible. Any white you see is just bitter. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but they passed. And at the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than they came in with. New money? A new kind of money. The new nobility. New-ability, if you're writing a think piece. Derogatory slang for nouveau rich families and their networks. I think we read this before, but I'll still read it. Or, it's pretty short. Slang term for the nouveau rich new money families that arose in the second half of the 21st century amid global economic turmoil. The name carries a negative connotation and is meant to criticize the way said families supposedly style themselves as nobility, or even as a second estate that administers global power alongside the first, governments, and third, corporations. Users also frequently search for who are nobility families, how to marry into wealth, define nouveau. Or, yeah. Isn't it new? Isn't it new? It's not nouveau, it's new. Yeah, nobility. You don't pronounce the A or U in it. Yeah, makes sense. New. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the governments of the world tried to re-privatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. Here enters House Icaria. And that's how they exited. They went into the Red Decade as the Icaria Cartel. Drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put the top on tight, then shake. So, they are a crime family, like the mob. This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. We call it the Yakuza these days. House Icaria is not literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice? Practice is what they're lacking, haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower wards in years. They make their profits from investments, blackmail, and more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes, but their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. That's not right at all. The hell did I forget? Boss? There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others poised to take advantage of the changing times. Yeah. So what did the Icaria do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? They murdered all their opposition? Stupid. Most important ingredient. Drop of grenadine. The Lady Maria. Ooh, it's beautiful. This is nothing. We'd use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. This does look extremely Higurashi, or like the first. Also, you missed on. You do not tell me the ooh. Wait, are you serious that the ooh plus Lady Maria is a fucking Umineko reference? Oh my god. The Lady Maria. Ooh, it's beautiful. That's you're probably right. That's the worst part. They've already referred to Umineko before in this game in episode 1, I believe, so that makes sense. That's really funny. I was like, oh, that's a fun way to write it. But yeah, that is definitely a Umineko reference. For Nouvet, you do pronounce the O, and the French whatever is EAU. Nouvet. I just thought it was Nouvet. This is nothing. We'd use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up helping Red work with the Icaria, don't let... Minor spelling mistake. We don't like this game anymore. Let minor spelling mistake spotted. I'm refunding the game. Don't let the warmth of their golden furnishing confuse you. All that glitters is cold. Nice twist on it. I actually kind of prefer that over all that glitters is gold. That's a really chill, like that's a really good twist on it. I'm surprised I haven't heard that before. Is this day 2 then? There's a quiet and uneventful drive in the back of the limousine. I assume this is day 2 then. I think I'll call it there then. Really, really strong hook. This is a much stronger hook than episode 1 had. It's a weaker hook than episode 0. Isn't it all that glitters is not gold? No, the original saying is all that glitters is gold. And I haven't gotten an ad yet. Nice, then we go. Let me see, an aphorism. Oh, it's both. It's both. But you're right, actually. Interesting. This is really cool, actually. All that glitters is not gold came before all that glitters is gold. All that glitters is gold is a, like, twist on all that glitters is not gold. Huh. All that glitters is gold is from Smash Mouth. No, I'm finding a difference, like a few different ones on, what's it called? Wikipedia. But you have not found is gold yet. It also is Smash Mouth isn't even listed in the music section of the Wikipedia. Oh, but the name isn't all that glitters. It's just a lyric of the thing, I guess. That makes sense. Oh yeah, it's All Star. I see. I've only heard all that glitters is gold, not all that glitters is not gold, which is interesting. Because, like you said, all that glitters is not gold is way easier to find. Curious. Anyway, I'll call it here. I think this is a pretty good time. I'll upload the VOD, of course, and it's going to be a bit of a break, I believe. we might continue on the 26th, which is in like 3 days, right? But it's not a guarantee because I have to do a bunch of cleaning and stuff. And I might want to let people finish the episode before I continue, since I'll have a guest over for a while. But yeah, I feel pretty good about getting into the hook of it, seeing where this goes. It was a stronger start than episode 1. I want to say it's a maybe weaker start than episode 0, but not by much. That's only because episode 0 I kind of count... No, start-wise it's stronger. It's more that the ending of episode 0 is really, really strong. I'm confusing the order of events. You said you'll be streaming this tomorrow? No, I'll be streaming this... if I'll stream it, it's probably on the 26th. So Friday. But I'm not sure I'll stream it on Friday because I have to do a bunch of cleaning before I have a guest over on the 27th. So this will be a break. And if I can't stream on the 26th, then it'll be all the way until the 5th of January or something. 5th of January, 6th of January, somewhere there. I'm still so behind on VODs. Aren't you only missing one VOD? The what's the word? The last Sovereign VOD? That's not good. Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll see. Depends on exactly how it goes. We might do some non-story streams and do some melee streams or something. But yeah, that's it for me right now. I might as well actually check something because I feel bad that I've gotten raided before by some people and then never checked if they're online. But I can comfortably say that there's no one online I want to raid, so I don't feel bad about just ending it. Yep. See you whenever. This has been fun. Thanks for watching. And Merry Christmas, if nothing else. Merry Christmas and have a good year. Bye-bye.